Now let's try this again. There we go. How's that sound? You know, and I hit it earlier too. That happened yesterday. Dave Foster, how you doing? Uh, we are live here in Wilmington, WZAA 106.9, LP FM, and I just rolled in, so I've kind of run a little late here. I know you guys can't see this on the radio, but like I said, I'm going to show this a couple times a day. Joe took me out, and Joe is alive. Joe Holdren is alive. I did not shoot him. I did not shoot anybody else. But there's my one and only shot. I could have shot some more, but I thought I hit the target the first time. I'm good with that. Now, obviously, can't see it on the radio, but I was pretty much on center and just maybe a little left of center. But that shot sprayed pretty good. Zach Tillis, how you doing? That's wrestling on wrestling. That's right. Think about Randy, Charlie with a gun. That's right. That's right. Hey, everybody survived. I have one shot, but I tell you, they made it real nice for me because, and they said I'll be able to use this when we go out in the woods. Also, they got this tripod. Now I set that gun on that tripod, and they showed me how to line it up, and man, it still had a little kick. My shoulder is like, it was awful. They said, though, once you're trying to shoot a turkey, they said you won't even notice the sound or the kick. I was ready for the sound this time, at least. And my ears didn't start ringing either, so I was glad about that. We are out at the News Journal building on Nelson Avenue on Fridays for right now. It's just off Nelson Avenue, kind of near the Wilmington City Board of Education. The dump is back here. Sister Looney's Church, the old radio station, WKFI. Well, it was, what was that? What were the call letters back then? What was the call letters? 102.3. I can't remember. The WKFI and the FM station shared a station back there. And, yeah, it's out by the pool, exactly. Peggy Routson, how you doing? So we're out on that end of town. And we do have a guest today. Bill Dickerson's going to be on, which he's not our guest. He's just going to kind of come in and co-host on Fridays. But we do have a guest. I believe his name's Daniel Kroger. I know Kroger is the last name. And he is a pastor. But we're not talking, WSWO, that's right. Thanks, Tim Villers. He is going to be coming in. He is running for Congress. And let me see if I can find his message here to me. Oh, really? I guess there's a WSWO in Huber Heights now that's a low power. So, let me see here. Trying to find it. I get so many messages sent to me that I'm just like, oh, where did it go? Let's see. I guess I could just put a search in for him. Let's do that. And he is running for, no, we're not WKRP in Cincinnati. But he is running for a Warren County. Yeah, Daniel Kroger. Here we go. Yeah, he is running for state representative, and I'm looking for the district. He had it on here. But hey, I want to say, now we're 91, so it's not us. It's just in Warren County. Warren County has two Ohio congressional districts in it, and because there's just so much population, what's funny is the congressional district we live in for Ohio covers three counties: Ross, Highland, or Clinton, Highland, Pike, and actually a little part of Ross. So 3.5 counties. In Warren County, the population is so big they have 2 representatives in that county alone. So Daniel's going to be on. He is running for the state representative, and geographically, it's most of Warren County. But when he gets on, he will tell us exactly the boundaries that he has over there. Philip Brian Tudor, how you doing? Pat Patterson, thanks for joining us today. Tim Viller said he was a DJ at WSWO back in the day. Well, Tim, you might want to come on and help us out sometime. So you knew Lee then, right? Lee Hendy, Tim Villers. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah, Tim, if you ever want to help us out here, we always are. Well, you watch us every morning. You know we're in need of help. Do I need to say anything else? Before we get any guests in here, I will try to look up here some local news, see if we have anything that is happening that we need to know about. And there's a gentleman yesterday, and forgive me, I can't remember your name. I could look him up real quick too, but he was in the hospital listening to us. Yeah, and no, Washington Courthouse, Fayette County Hospital, and he was first time listener, and he really liked the show. So we were glad that he was able to join us yesterday. If I can here, I'll try to throw a shout out here to him. Let's see.
So it wasn't a case that we made him sick or anything like that.
No, he was already in there. He was,
okay.
And actually he liked it. Let me see if I can find it because he sent a real nice message. Let's see. Bob Lee.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, Bob Lee. He says, Charlie, make your broadcast public. I can't comment. Thanks. And he was watching it off of one of the yard sale sites we put it on.
Oh, okay.
And I said, well, just all you got to do is go to my page. And now I friend requested him. He goes, I appreciate it. Just out of the hospital. That's for Bill Dickerson.
Oh, okay.
On Heart Attack 2, and I watched your show while I was in. I like it. Thanks. I sent you a friend request. Hope you get better. Yep. So, Bob Lee. And, Bob, hopefully you're joining us this morning.
Yeah, hope you're feeling better.
And Tim Viller said, yeah, he knew Lee Hendy.
Yeah.
Vicki Kendall's on with us today. You know what?
Hey,
it wasn't supposed to rain any today.
And it was raining.
Yeah, we
Imagine
got a
that.
little rain. There's Aaron Back, the beautiful, the one, the only Aaron Back.
So Aaron Back is back?
Aaron Back is back.
Oh, okay.
She's right there. See
I
right
see her.
there? Yeah.
What's she wearing this morning?
I don't know what she's wearing. I'm sure it looks good, though. She's probably going, oh, my God, they're embarrassing me. I know Aaron. I haven't talked to Aaron in a long time. But here we go. Well, I guess Cliff, this is, I think, just going to end up being a political witch hunt here, folks. But it says a headline here, Rosenberger out immediately.
So he's not even waiting to.
Well, effective immediately.
Wow.
Ohio House Speaker Cliff Rosenberger has resigned effective immediately, according to a Thursday evening press release from the Ohio House of Representatives press secretary, Brad Miller. Several prominent Ohio elected officials on Wednesday called on Rosenberger to resign immediately rather than wait till May 1st, as he said he would do when he announced late Tuesday his intention to step down. That group includes Republican gubernatorial candidate Mike DeWine and Mary Taylor, along with State Auditor Dave Yost. Referring to Speaker Pro Tem Kirk Schuring, Miller states, Schuring's top priority is to ensure a smooth transition and to finish off the first half of the session calendar with a focus on passing important and meaningful legislation to help the people of Ohio. That process begins with Representative Schuring presiding over yesterday's busy voting session. After now having time to fully assess the responsibilities of the office of Speaker, address the operational aspects of the Ohio House, and resolve questions regarding who has the appropriate decision-making authority, Representative Schuring felt it was in the best interest of Ohio, the institution, that Cliff resign immediately. And this is the only press comment we are providing at this time. Rosenberger's decision to announce his resignation Tuesday came amid reports of an FBI investigation. Details have been scarce, but some say the investigation involves travel taken by Rosenberger and paid for by others, among other issues, which is allowed. It is allowed. You just have to show it. The FBI has declined to confirm or deny that Rosenberger is even being investigated.
Betty Jo?
Yep, Betty Jo. How you doing? Betty Jo's a great lady in Sabina. She runs the Sabina Manor. I don't think they call it that now, but it's a Sabina trailer park out there.
Oh, well, I thought that was like the old folks' home.
No.
Because I figured they've got a room for you, Charlie.
They're doing some updates out there.
And there's a room waiting for you out there.
Oh, that's in the mental ward. Anyhow, so Cliff, here's my feeling on it, and I have no information other than what I read you guys. I don't think Cliff would do anything purposely to get in trouble. Now, could he be set up like all of us? I think so. I think probably what has happened at one of these trips he probably got scheduled to go on, which is allowed. You just have to show who's paying for it. But I think there were some people on maybe some of those same trips that were trying to influence his vote, and so that made everything look bad. So he's out of the picture now.
Right.
There's
the Reverend.
Yeah, Phil Hoskins. He's the one called in yesterday.
Yeah.
I got to show this for Phil again.
All right.
You guys are going to get tired of seeing this today. I'll just warn you right now. Looky there, Phil. The shot heard around the world. That's right, baby. One shot.
Now he has to come
and
home.
Done.
He's got to come home with a turkey now. No turkey.
If the turkey shows up, see, that's where we got to get Phil to help me out.
If there's no,
Phil's got to help me out there.
He's bringing the turkey.
Well, he's got some honey holes. He says he has some honey holes. Now we'll see if he's willing to give up a honey hole for a day.
So is that where the turkey hang out at the honey holes?
That's right. Well, yeah, there's honey holes and everything, but there's honey holes for turkey too.
Yeah.
Brandon Grimsley, how you doing? Judith Sturgeon, Randy Bond.
Judith.
Randy Bond, you'll be proud of me, man. I didn't shoot anybody. I still have both my eyes this morning.
That's right. His shoulder may be a little sore.
You know what? My shoulder's fine right now.
Right.
But I tell you what. Yeah, I had the thing on the tripod. I have you got two sights you line in. I lined them up. Lean forward like you're supposed to.
Right.
And these guys were good teachers. And squeezed the trigger. I didn't
slowly.
Yeah, just squeezed
gently.
It. And that thing was loud as hell. I mean, it just boom, and
did it scare you?
Ear protection. Well, no, I was expecting it this time, because I just shot a couple.
Well, you
got
to wear protection, Charlie.
I forgot to get any.
No protection. No.
And
what's Judith say? Oh, good morning, Judith.
I guarantee you, I won't put it through my nose either.
That's good. Yeah.
Dean Lee Thompson, Rita Howard.
Hey, Dean.
Doing?
Nothing going on this weekend, Dean. Probably not till Monday or Tuesday. Well, yeah, wrestling.
Dean's
I'm talking
excited.
about. Well, yeah, Dean loves wrestling.
In your book, I know that's probably like down here, but in Dean's book, that's way up here.
Well, I mean, it's great entertainment. I love it.
That's way up. I mean,
and even to a certain extent, it is a sport.
Oh yeah, those guys get hurt.
That's right.
Don't tell me they don't get hurt.
No.
My gosh,
in
their
that's right. In their effort to entertain, sometimes they do crazy stuff.
Well,
sort of like you, Charlie.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
going out and turkey hunting.
There was one guy that
one of your relatives there.
I hope not. One guy wrestled there a couple times ago when we saw them, and
so the heat wave was on earlier.
Yeah,
he's not doing any brain thing on me.
Like 20 minutes. Well, he has the brain call, but also the.
I don't want to think about that.
The underneath claw.
You made that up though. He didn't have the underneath claw till he came into the studio.
He's got 2 hands.
It would seem it would stand to reason, Charlie, that you would come up with something like that.
That would be effective, though.
I like the brain claw, but
what do you think about Paul Ryan? He's not going to run again.
I'm glad to see him go.
Paul Ryan.
Don't let the door hit you. I think a lot of these rhinos are running scared now. Trump's got them on the run. So
what are we going to do in Syria?
That's what we ask him. We're not going to do anything. You think we're going to bomb?
We're going to do something. Yeah, we're going to do something.
Nah, I don't think so.
Last time he dropped 50-some missiles on them.
So what do you think we're going to do? Gas them?
I think we're going to go after their gas. If they have any idea where they store gas or where they make the gas.
Well, the conspiracy theorists say that never really happened, that the U.S. is just wanting to get back into war.
No.
That's what they're saying.
No.
Yeah.
You saw the pictures coming from there. I mean,
well, those pictures could have been from 50 years ago. They could have been from Auschwitz, for all we know. I don't know.
We're going to do something. And I get why Russia would be upset.
Here's the reason why that lends this is why there's credibility to what I just said, and that was we already knew that President Trump was going to get out of Syria. So he's wanting to get out of Syria. He's going to remove the troops from Syria. So it would stand to reason that if Russia and Syria were glad to see us get out of Syria, why would they turn around and then gas their own people? Why wouldn't they just let us get out and then they'd have their way around? Why did this happen right there when Trump was saying we're leaving Syria?
Because we're the policemen of the world, unfortunately.
I don't think so. I think there's more to this story, just like I know there are false flags all over that our government perpetrates. And it's all about the oil, the Rothschilds and the oil around the world. So.
Yep. Joe Holder, and there you go, Joe. It's on there. Looky there. That's where we went, this guy's house yesterday.
Oh, okay. So what is this, a shameless plug, Charlie?
Shameless plug. Jeremy, he helped me out. He's got a lot of neat stuff out there. But there we go, Joe. What do you think? Joe's a good teacher. And Joe, are you still alive this morning?
Yeah, I was the other guy. So the other guy that got the rest of that shot.
They're all J's. It's Joe, Jeremy, and Justin. But Justin's his son's a prison guard, and you had to listen to him.
Is he funny?
He's a tough guy. No, he's a tough guy. You can just see, he's got the beard. He's like, this is the way you do it, son. I'm like, okay.
If not, we're taking you in.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm like, all of them super nice guys, but Justin, you could see, could be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
And I think Joe would even say that, even though that's his son. So my shoulder's fine. Shoulder's fine. It was fine like about an hour afterward, actually. But, man, I brought back those memories from the stone quarry when I was 8 years old in New York. Boom. I'm like, shit.
So the stone quarry, that was his son that brought those memories back? Because you were in prison and you were doing the rocks?
No, my uncle.
Oh. No, this was when you first shot.
Yeah, my first shot a gun.
So you weren't doing hard labor anywhere in New York at the stone quarry.
Like, I really thought my arm had been detached from my body. I mean, yesterday I didn't feel like my arm had been detached. I just felt like somebody hit
So
it real hard.
you think, and maybe Joe will let us know. Joe, do you think that Charlie is ready for turkey?
Well, I could have taken more shots yesterday, but I hit on the first time, so I was like, I'm good.
Batting 1,000, you don't want to mess up.
Well, and Justin, they're going turkey hunting this weekend down in Kentucky.
All right, so Joe says it's going to be great.
Yeah, it will be, and it's already been fun. But Justin, he's going down there, and it was funny. And Joe offered him a box of shells to take down with him, and Justin said, "Nah, I only need 2 or 3." So, I mean, well, you pretty much, if you don't get them on the first shot, you're in trouble.
They're fast runners. Is that what you're saying?
Well, and they fly too. But I guess these turkeys, their eyesight's just something else. That's what gets me. They said, even if you just do like a little move.
So Joe says you're ready, Charlie.
Even if I just do like a little move of my head like that turkey can catch it. I got to make sure I cover up my gray hair and everything. So.
Because they look for gray-headed old men that are.
And that's why I even was worried about wearing my glasses. I didn't wear my glasses when I shot yesterday because of the glare.
So if the sun caught them.
Yeah, the glare.
So these are very flighty birds.
Yeah, well, I guess, I literally was 20 yards away. And also, I'll tell you, the topography, how I was shooting, it wasn't like it was straight, okay? And this, I'm not saying it's me.
Rachel.
Yeah. I know. Rachel probably would have shot one yesterday if we offered her, and that was my fault.
Charlie will not put a gun in Rachel's hands.
Yeah. She probably would have yesterday.
Have you got your life insurance paid up, Charlie?
I do.
Well, that's another incentive for Rachel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an accident.
And I've got 2 policies. There we go.
Ooh.
2 policies, yes. A term and a whole life, which I recommend to everybody out there. Remember? No, I'm just kidding. Today, there's a new restaurant opening.
That is in Sabina?
No, New Vienna.
New Vienna. New Vienna.
Right across
is that the pronunciation? New Vienna.
New Vienna. That's what I call it.
All right. So this is where?
It's right across from, pretty much right across from Stephanie's restaurant. The other
So,
restaurant there in
do you
town.
have some deal cut with them where you get free food if you
Today,
mention them on the
yes,
air?
Today, I'm gonna go. No, not on the air here. I'm gonna go over and do a little Facebook Live for them.
Uh,
I try to get them to call in though, because that's big news. You know, a new restaurant opening.
uh,
They're calling it the Diner. That's what they're calling it.
that's
the Diner.
original.
Yeah, it is.
I hope the food is more original than their name.
William Albert. Well, the boys that are opening up are the Menderman boys, and they've been around New Vienna off and on all their lives.
Right.
And I think the one that's actually doing the cooking has been a chef at some pretty nice places too.
So this is going to be like a tablecloth restaurant?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the pictures I'm seeing, it looks like they got a wide variety of stuff: burgers, fries, pizza. It looked like brisket.
Sounds like everything you like.
Oh, I like
Food.
food. Yeah, exactly. Food, exactly. Now, some of it I can't eat, but some of it I get all swollen up.
We won't go into that.
I get all swollen up. My eyes. Can't
Your
see.
eyes.
Yep. See, shellfish, no go. Can't do it. Can't do
You
it.
have allergies, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
I'm not allergic to anything that I know of. I mean, I know everybody's allergic to certain things. For instance, everybody's allergic to onions. It's just a matter of how much. Obviously, people can be allergic to poison ivy, and that can change. Any allergies can change overnight. It's
Sure.
body chemistry that changes constantly.
I used to be allergic to cats, and now I'm not. I don't get it. I mean, I used to.
How about rats?
No, I don't mess with them.
Yeah.
I don't
So
mess with
Rachel is home babysitting a sick rat.
them. Yeah, one of Stuart Little, the one she calls Stuart Little.
Stuart Little.
Yeah,
how
it's-
original.
Yeah, how original, right?
That's like the
She's
diner.
got 4 of them. Let's see. I don't think I can. Oreo's one of them. That's the one that's most active. That's one that would rather be held than be in the cage.
Oh.
I mean, it always wants to be held. Then there's a couple others. I try not to get Bert. I think maybe Bert is one of them.
Ernie?
No, it's not Ernie.
No.
I don't know what it is.
So now the cat got some of them, didn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Well,
Well,
we had a whole slew, but we got rid of them. Now we have 4 males. So once they go, they'll go peacefully into the night, and that'll be
no more rats.
I'm hoping. It
So
won't have
you're
any
hoping
more
the one
after
she's nursing to health passes.
No, I don't care. I don't mess with them. So, and these all 4 of these are too fat to get out. So that's a good thing. A couple of them, they could slide out there. And man, that was a pain in the butt.
So you don't think that there's any that have habitated in your house somewhere?
No.
Did you ever get the hole in your floor fixed?
Not yet, but Dave Hurst will, now that spring's here. He will come over and do it.
That was where you sort of fell through, right?
No, I didn't fall through. We had a water leak.
Oh, okay.
We had a pipe freeze there in the middle of winter, and he come and temporarily fixed the floor because the water got all over the floor, damaged the floor, so we got to put a little new flooring in.
That was what made it weak, and then so how did the hole develop?
Well, we pretty much had to put a hole in it to get to actually fix the.
You're on a crawl space, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So but it was going to be having to be replaced anyhow. So
have we got any other news besides the diner in New Vienna?
The diner. We got Cliff is the big news right now.
Well,
but we have a
we'll
health
talk about
fair
Cliff.
coming up in Washington Courthouse. The planning committee, new attractions, old traditions at the health fair. The planning committee. I wonder if I should bring my hearse over there and try to sell life insurance
that would be
at the
good,
health
yeah.
fair. That'd be funny.
Charlie.
The planning committee, made up of representatives from various county health organizations for the 28th Annual Community Health Fair and Family Fun Day, is excited to introduce some new offerings this year for the event. Set for April 28th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, several new attractions should assist or entertain the community. Among these new attractions include Dr. Cynthia Morris and Angela Tackett, RN, presenting educational seminars, a prescription drug disposal, and a 7-foot monster coloring mural. The monster mural will be in the occupational and physical therapy classroom, where FCMH therapists will be offering developmental screening for children and balance screening for adults. 10 a.m. to 1. Home Depot associates are offering a children's workshop from 11 a.m. to noon. Traditional favorites will still be part of the day. Free health screenings, including vision and hearing. blood pressure, foot
What?
care.
What was that?
Exactly, yeah. I couldn't see it. Body fat, scoliosis, skin screening, depression screening. Yeah, that's interesting. Bone density, glucose checks, and dental screening. Comprehensive blood draws are offered at a reduced rate by the Fayette County Memorial Hospital. Pre-registration form for the blood work can be found on flyers available at many local businesses and record held. Plus, they had some other deal going on. I remember. Let's see. Pre-registration and payment should be submitted to the Fayette County Memorial Hospital Laboratory by Tuesday, April 24th.
So they want you to prepay?
Walk-ins will be accepted.
They want you to prepay.
Yeah, they would like for you to.
All right.
The committee has worked hard on this event for 28 years. We invite the public out to see the best health fair yet, Whitney Gentry, Fayette County Memorial Hospital Director of Business, said. Traditional favorites include bounce houses, carnival games, emergency vehicles. So my hearse would
That's
fit
your
in.
hearse.
Med flight, weather permitting, and face painting. Another great tradition is the Columbus Zoo. They'll bring animals, live animals, at 1 o'clock. Gently reminded
What
Gentry,
kind of animals?
I don't know. Zoo animals. Probably good, healthy ones.
Gorilla?
Maybe like rats or something.
Rats?
Man.
Rats.
Oh, man.
They have rats in the zoo?
Did you see, I don't know, it's probably fake news, but one of the zookeepers tried to get it on with a 500-pound gorilla. Have you heard of that?
That has to be that has to be
I
fake
would think
news.
it was fake.
You can't believe anything you see on the internet, Charlie.
But this dude looked like the gorilla might be attractive. We'll just put it that way. Gentry named the community to not forget the delicious food and drinks that will also be available during the event. Fertile Grounds coffee truck will be on site from 8 to 11 a.m. That's pretty funny, Fertile Grounds. So what do you think of when you think fertile? I mean, I think two things: either pregnant people,
Charlie,
or like you're trying to get the ground, what do they call that? Fertilized, Fertile Grounds coffee.
Well, maybe
truck.
that makes good coffee beans.
Think about that. Fertile Grounds.
Well, I mean, look
coffee
what they
truck.
do on out in the fields. They.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
But just putting it like that makes me go. 8 to 11
Your
a.m.
mind's always in the gutter.
And we'll offer a variety of hot and cold coffee drinks. Donato's Pizza will be available as well.
Coffee.
Don's Deli food truck with owner Denise Rhodes. Oh, Denise. Went to school with Denise.
Yeah.
Finally,
Back in the
Jeffersonville.
20s?
Back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Finally, Jeffersonville Charm and Farm 4-H Club will be selling pulled pork and the Willow's chicken and noodles to raise money for Adopt a Family.
Now that's some good chicken
There
and noodles.
you go, the Willow. Man, I need to get to the Willow. I haven't been to the Willow. in a
Mom and
while.
I went there. I don't know. It's probably been a year now. I got to get back up there too. That's
Todd
good.
Blocker, what's happening, brother? Jeff Baker, Janet Flory, Dusty Kessler, Michael Nelson, Bill Albert. Thanks, guys, for joining today. Share that show. I hadn't even had a chance to share the show yet.
I know.
The event is 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Grace Community Church on Glen Ave. And, again, this is going to be April 28th. That sounds like a good time, actually. Sounds like a lot for a health fair. It seems like
A lot of things going on in April, Charlie. Hey, speaking of that, where were we last night?
we were at the longest 5-inning game in the world last night. That's where
And
we
it was a
were.
run rule game, right?
Yeah, and the game started at 4:30, and we still didn't get out of there till like 7:15.
That's right. Well, yeah, I didn't get home till I think it was about 7:30 when I got home.
Yeah.
But it was a slugfest, to say the least.
23 to 12? No, 23 to 11.
23 to 12. No, it was 23 to 12, right.
Okay.
And, of course, we had that on Campus Nation, WZAA, but that was the little Miami Panthers being defeated by the Wilmington Hurricane.
And little Miami, guys, was up in this game 9-2?
9 to 2, 9 to 1.
Or 9-2,
Yeah,
something
Wilmington
like
came roaring back. But, the interesting thing about it is the night before, Wilmington had beat Goshen like 20 to nothing.
Really?
So they scored 20 points on one night or 20 runs,
Right.
and then the next day, 23 runs. So
Now-
their offense is clicking.
that. Now, did you see, though, that thing I tagged you in on Facebook last night?
That 40-some,
Fairfield, that had to be softball. Fairfield Lions I think it would beat. I think it was Felicity. Wasn't it? Was it Felicity?
I don't remember, but that
Anyhow,
was
they
an
beat
incredible
Felicity
score.
Or Bethel,
Something to 2,
41-2, and
They said they just gave up.
it was only the second inning.
Yeah,
Did you see the inning up there? It was only the second inning.
yeah. That would have been demoralizing, no question
Well,
about it.
last night was demoralizing for little Miami there for a while. They had batted through the order not once but twice and only had one out. So,
Oh, Charlie shared the show.
yeah, I am sharing the show. I'm finally getting to that. It's taking me a little while. But we're getting it out there.
So now, when is your guest supposed to be here?
I told him 8:30 to roll in.
All right.
Because that way I figured I'd give Bill some time to BS.
So when is Bill supposed to roll in?
Well, I don't know. That's your department. That's your boy.
Yeah.
Is he related to Bill Mahanes too?
Oh, his name's Bill.
I know.
Yeah.
I wondered about that.
Where's Bill Mahanes today? I don't see him. Haven't seen him on.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Missing
where
in
he's at.
action, Bill. Where are you?
No, he's doing that shift where he's running back and forth from Findlay.
Is that the Tide Pod shift?
Yeah, the Tide Pod. Findlay to Lima. It's not a very long.
That's not
route.
a long haul.
But he has to do it 4 or 5 times a day.
So he's going from Findlay to Lima?
Yeah, I mean back and forth 4 or 5 times a day.
And so is that
delivering Tide Pod containers.
Right. Well, I mean, they're in demand, all these young people.
Yep. Randy Bond sounds like the Reds. The Reds, boy, they're just
I was going to mention that on last night's broadcast, and I thought, nah, I'm not going to say that. But it did. It sounded like the Cincinnati Reds. They've won 2?
Yeah, they've won 2, and I just got to wonder, I mean, and being a coach, it's not all Brian Price's fault.
Can't fire the team, though.
No, but yeah, I mean, and I'm not a Brian Price fan.
This is Bill Dickerson. Let's see. Hello, Bill. Yeah. You're going to stop by your house and get something to eat. All right. What are you bringing us?
Yeah, bring us some food, Bill. There you go.
Oh, so you're going to pack your lunch for work today.
He works some strange hours.
What game?
That was yesterday, Bill.
No, yeah, it was yesterday. We don't have any games, nothing till probably Monday or Tuesday. But anyway, if you're going to pack a lunch, bring me some peanut butter and jelly or something.
Yeah, we got Bill Dickerson. He's going to come in.
We'll see you when you get here.
Help us out with the show a little bit.
Well, once again, there was a baseball game that was going to be moved from Saturday to Friday that
Rick
they
a hard
canceled
time
because they didn't want the college students out of class too long.
Those college students get out of class. We did a baseball game the other day. It was at 12:30.
We have big time wrestling Saturday night. That is the next scheduled event.
Do I need to press my slacks for Saturday?
Press your what?
So,
well, yeah, press your slacks. And if you want, you can come do wrestling with us. You know anything about wrestling?
Uh-oh.
You know a lot. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, anyway, press your slacks. Bring me peanut butter and jelly, and we'll see you in a while.
Anyhow, Rick's getting his lunch plans. I will be at the diner today. If anybody wants to join me, I'll be there about 12:15 in New Vienna.
All right. Bye.
So come on over. So have you got your lunch plans made there?
No. He was packing a lunch for some reason. I don't know. But he
said he was going to go do the game with you.
He just got off work, I guess, because he works overnight. He does all this
delivery. He works crazy hours.
Biological deliveries or whatever. But anyway, he's off work.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, he's all these body fluids and things. But anyway, he is going home and getting something to eat real quick, and then he will be in. And so he's ready.
He'll
for
be
us.
here in a little bit.
Yeah,
man.
always have interesting things that he can say. But he knows a lot about wrestling, he says.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So it sounds like we're going to have like a dozen people there.
And we haven't seen. We're going to have the Mormon women.
If they come, yeah. If they come, yeah.
We'll get them on the show if we can.
We need to tell Jerry. Hopefully, Jerry will be on, and because Jerry wanted to come too.
Oh, Jerry wants to come?
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably bring more than there'll actually be there.
That's
probably,
true.
Charlie.
That
of course, we always bring a big crowd wherever we go.
Yeah, we'll be there, and it's
Last time we were there was
$5
Christmas.
if you bring in $5 if you bring in cat litter or wet cat food.
Wet cat.
Well, that's what
Now,
they wanted.
wet
There was a
cat food?
certain
You mean like
type.
you
They
mean
didn't want dry cat food. They wanted,
right? And
the
they
little
asked
things.
for a specific brand, didn't they?
they asked for
It's
something,
like Tender Vittles or something.
But it's like, here's my look at that.
Hey, if you're asking,
You get what you get.
That's
and
right.
You don't throw a fit.
yeah.
That would be my
That's why I took peanut butter and jelly.
right.
Yeah.
That's why I like eating for free. I don't care then what it is.
Well, that's why you go out and do these shows so you can eat for free.
Hey, it works.
Keeps
Well,
Bubba.
plus
keeps
I want to check this place out anyhow, because I do know the guy that's running it. So that makes it a little different. It's not just that. I do want to try to help him out. I've never actually been to I've been to the pizza place in New Vienna, but I've never actually
Is that
been
Firehouse?
to Stephanie's yet. Yeah, I'd like to try it out someday too.
She has pizza.
No, it's funny. It's husband and wife that owns them. The husband owns the pizza place. They own both of them together. The husband runs the pizza place,
Right.
and then the wife runs the
Home
restaurant.
home cooking.
Yeah, but it is just morning and noon. They're not open in the evenings, which I don't know why. A lot of these restaurants do that. They just do breakfast and lunch, and then they're
Well,
off.
it's probably that in a lot of cases, first of all, dinner is a lot more expensive item to prepare. There's probably the problem that if people don't come in as much as you prepare for dinner, you have loss. So breakfast and lunch, and also you cut down on your employee costs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's reasons, but I don't know. I guess. Well, in Wilmington, you go to Wilmington every night. There's tons. Oh, I got to tell you, this is funnier than heck. Last night, we're pulling up to the intersection there where McDonald's is.
Kroger.
Towards Sabina. Yeah,
Right.
Kroger, McDonald's intersection. And there's this cat pulling out from Generations in a Dodge Dakota truck. And he's squealing his tires and taking off and rushing down the road.
No police?
Policeman sitting right there at the light in his 4x4, and the guy must not realize it. So the policeman just zoomed right around and stopped him. He stopped him right out in the middle of the road, and we go by, and we're laughing. I'm sure they probably heard us laughing because we were laughing so hard. The butthead, he pulled out. If he didn't get a ticket, he should have. I'll put it that way. But then we go through Taco Bell to take Crystal something home to eat, and we're coming out. And here comes the same Dodge Dakota, and he comes rushing up on me, then backing off. Rushing up. Some young kid just got his license and just being an idiot.
So he must not have got a ticket.
I almost called the police again and said, hey, Dodge Dakota, you just stopped.
He couldn't have got a ticket because it would have taken longer than that.
Well, I don't know. Because, see, he was already stopped by the time we got up there. And we had to go through the Taco Bell drive-through, and we were behind 3 or 4 people.
So you think he was from Sabina?
No, he turned into the bowling alley.
Oh.
So, but I thought, man, here you just got stopped, and you're still acting like a jerk. He'll be one of those people. He'll end up in a car wreck one day. Because if I'd hit the brakes, he'd had me in the back end very easily.
Well, you're heavily insured, aren't you?
Not on my cars. My cars are just
liability.
Yeah, just liability. So he would have to have the insurance. It had been his fault anyhow, because he's being a moron. And don't you hate people like that when you get out there, folks? Out there in Radio Land, or if you're at you just want to drive, just trying to get from point A to point B, and then you got to deal with people that. And plus, this guy really worried me because not only was he doing the speeding up crap, but he was like this. I thought he was going to maybe
weaving.
Pass me. I thought he was going to pass me on the inside lane a couple times, the turn lane.
On the left.
Yeah, on the left.
Right.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But I just ignored him, and I just kept on going down the road. Now, if he'd kept doing that, I might have called the police and said, hey, this guy you just stopped back there, he's being a butthead. So let me see where else. I think I've got the show shared everywhere I want to share it.
Right.
But I'm looking because there's a couple places I want to make sure I hit today because our guest is coming in from Warren County, so I want to make sure that
You share to the Warren County area.
right.
And he's running for
He's running
state
for state
representative
in Warren County.
in Warren County.
And there's two districts in Warren County, and his area wise has more than the other one. But districts for people who don't know.
So does it cover like Lebanon and?
I think so. But for people who don't know, districting is all on population. So, like our district, which was originally which was Cliff Rosenberger's, is Clinton, Clinton, Highland, and Pike County, then a little piece of Ross. And
is it called gerrymandering?
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm.
But it's all based on how many people. That's how many people it takes to equal just one district inside of Warren County, and then Warren County has a whole nother district. I mean, it just kind of shows you the population difference. Of course, Warren County, you got some big towns. I mean, you got Mason, you got Springboro. Is Centerville Warren County still?
Nope.
Montgomery. Waynesville. And I feel like I'm missing others.
You mean like
other big towns?
Lebanon, South Lebanon.
Yeah, Morrow, they're Warren County.
Right.
Morrow's not a big town, but
yeah, still, it's a big town compared to a lot of towns in Clinton County.
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, I think I'm trying.
You got it all shared.
Well, I'm trying to make sure that I haven't missed any of those places in that area. I'm hitting a few more.
You shared all the institutions where they're locked up, don't you? We're big there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I tell you what, that guy yesterday, he works down at one of them, and man, he was a little intimidating. But he was a nice guy, but I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
He put the brain claw on you.
Oh, and you would feel it. You would feel it. It would be bad. It would be bad. Well, let's see what else we got here. As I'm still looking, Carrie delivers there in Lebanon now. Really? So
Generations delivers in Lebanon.
No, that's Carrie's soul.
Oh.
So he's delivering for Pizza Hut, I assume. Still, is that right? Let's see. What else do we have here?
Your relative keeps going up there.
That's not my relative, Rick. That's not my relative. That guy looks like somebody out of deliverance.
First of all, he's got the orange on, so he's incarcerated somewhere. And secondly, he looks like he's heavily into meth.
He looks like it, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
What about the tempers flaring at the Washington courthouse?
Did that one yesterday.
No, did we?
We did that. And guess who's partially involved in that? Our buddy over there.
You're serious?
Yeah, he's partially involved.
How could he be partially involved?
Well, because I think
you mean he was at the meeting?
Well, and he was doing an interview with the council member that got all fired up.
Oh, they actually interview? I mean, they give him interviews?
Well, Derek Myers.
I know, but I'm saying they still give Derek interviews?
Well, he just probably did like a Facebook Live thing afterward, yeah.
Now, did you see anything? Because I didn't. There was apparently something that was sent out just after this thing with Cliff broke that was, I think, trying to tie Beth Ellis.
Well, she's already tied herself.
Well, what I'm saying is to say basically, or to insinuate.
She supposedly has received funds from the Ohio House Republican Committee that Cliff's a part of that's getting in trouble here.
So it's the committee that's getting in trouble?
Well, no. I mean, the guy's trying to plug it on Beth because this is not going to help Beth any. If this was a close race, this may tip it against her. Because if you look
I
at
don't
like
know.
all the campaign
Sometimes you get people that hunker down. She gets sympathy, so it may help her.
But if you look at all the campaign literature and stuff, Cliff's right there. They're pretty much locked at the hip. And I said this several months ago before Cliff got in any trouble. I said because when Todd May was on here, Todd May contacted the Republican Party to talk to them to see if he could get
some endorsement.
Some endorsement from them. And they didn't even return his phone call. I don't like it in a primary when you handpick somebody. In a primary,
well, I mean, that was the contention that Beth was picked by the party.
Well, yeah. Well, she's got the.
But they got to endorse someone. What do they do?
Not in the primary, no. And if I'm head of the Republican Central Committee, You guys, you Republicans, you fight it out. We're going to help out all of you evenly. We're not going to help you out at all in the primary. You're on your own. Then you win, then we're going to help you big time when it counts in the fall. But no, I mean, because you set up, I can set up some bad relationships like right now.
Well,
Okay,
I think the thinking of the party is they look at who will be the strongest candidate to go against the other party, and so then that's where they pour their efforts. They if for some reason someone might be a weak candidate, but they win the primary, then you lose the seat.
Yeah, but that's your boy.
Yeah,
That's your girl. That's who the people voted for, and it's
well,
not
my
supposed
thinking is we shouldn't even have parties.
Oh, I agree.
You should vote for the best candidate. But, that's also, if you look at California, in California, the law is different there. You don't vote for party. The top two vote getters.
Well, that's why it is in Cincinnati, too.
And that's why, I'm just saying this is all over California. That's why Democrats have taken over California and held California for such a long time.
No, I agree. But I don't think in a primary, I don't think you endorse, because if your candidate, your chosen person, doesn't get the endorsement, you should still be there to help who did get the endorsement in the fall. So that's just my personal feeling.
And that's why he's running as an independent rather than running as a Republican or a Democrat.
I don't like this hand-picked person. Any person, I'm not saying Beth Ellis at all. I may vote for Beth, but I'm just saying I don't think they should be. I just don't think the party has any real reason to, recommend anybody in the primary.
So you think they're going to change because you don't think that?
No, they're not going to do. But I'm telling you, that it makes for a lot healthier party, because now, let's say the person that wins that you didn't endorse. So now how's that relationship going to be when it comes to fall, when you actually need to vote? See, that's the thing. I mean, when you endorse for primary, you're looking right here. You need to look all the way down the road there, because what's going to be best for the party, especially if you have candidates that you like that are both good, and I think really in this case we have three excellent candidates with the guy from Hillsborough and Beth, and also Todd May. I think there's three.
Even though Todd is running independent,
he's going to run independent. Yeah, which is going to
he
be
really is a Republican.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard row to hoe, but. We'll see what
I don't know.
happens.
I don't know how many registered independents there are in Ohio, but obviously he's going to win that primary. He will be. He will be the
primary.
That's true. He's not in.
You're not.
We
in
don't
the
have an
primary.
independent. Now that there is the glaring fact. The fact that other candidates can't. There's no.
Well, they can run. They just have to have everything in by the primary.
Right.
If they want to run in the fall, they have to have all their.
But what I'm saying is he will be on the ballot as long as everything checks out.
Right. Yeah. Right, and he's got some stuff out there, but unfortunately, when you go against these parties, you're going against a machine.
That's right.
That's the only problem.
The swamp.
Well, I'd call it a machine, because there's. Your higher Republican Party has things already set.
Well, I mean, the Democrats do too.
Yeah, well, but they have it set where they can disperse people, disperse monies, and get a ground game going.
Right.
And that's through your Republican Central Committees. So,
although at the local level, I mean, although for state representative, particularly in this district, you've got to cover a lot of territory. Whereas
it's awful.
When you're in Warren County, as this gentleman, as we'll talk with him when he comes in, he's got so much smaller an area because they're so. Judith.
Problem with him. Though,
sell some cars.
The problem with him, and I'm sure he'll probably readily admit this, he's running up against a candidate there in the Republican Party. And it's funny, each of them have separate endorsements from different places. And I'll be anxious to talk to him about the Ohio Right to Life because he is a big Right to Life guy. He's a pastor, yet didn't get the endorsement. But he's going up against the machine also because
Bill wants to know if there's a microwave.
I saw that. Yeah, he's going up against the machine also because this lady he's running against, she's running all kinds of ads on Cincinnati TV. So he's kind of behind the eight ball.
But now
also.
she's also a Republican.
Also a Republican. I would say she's probably endorsed by the party. But I'll let him talk about.
So if she would be endorsed by the party, you're saying she would get additional funds that he wouldn't get,
most likely
because of the endorsement by the party.
But even though he seems like a great guy, so there again, what happens if he wins and he's not endorsed by the party? You see what I mean? It can cause a sticky situation.
The question would be: would the party then, if he wins the primary, would they then fund?
They should.
Yeah.
But there you go. Will they?
Well, why wouldn't they? Would they put money somewhere else? Is that what you're saying?
They didn't like him in the primary. You understand? Well, that's why I said when you do this in a primary, you make things awfully sticky. I mean, you just let the candidates run, and whoever comes out, you take them to the finish line.
So, changing the subject here, did you have you caught any of that testimony by Zuckerberg to Congress as far as Facebook?
No, not really.
They actually collect information of people that are not members of Facebook.
Probably.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, probably.
And the interesting thing about it is if you're not a member of Facebook and they're collecting information on you, the only way that you can find out what information they have on you
is to join Facebook.
Then you can ask for the information.
That's funny.
The only other way is there's a number you got to call and you got to contact them, and they'll send you at some future date what information they have on you. But it was the interesting thing I thought about the one of the senators, I think, because I think that one day he was in front of Congress, the next day he was in front of the senators. But because I know that Ted Cruz was grilling him.
What happened there? Somebody said he's going to be banned from Facebook for what he did yesterday. He's going to go to Facebook jail.
Probably so. I mean, there's probably a lot of.
Did you read it?
Well,
did you hear what he did,
first of all,
I
didn't. But the interesting thing about it is, Zuckerberg was asked by one of the senators, and this was a Democrat. He was asked certain personal information and asked him to divulge it. Personal information. In other words, the same kind of information that Facebook collects on all of us. Zuckerberg declined to give him any of that personal information.
Oh,
and so I think it was Dick Durbin. But anyway, he was making the point, know, here I am asking you personal questions in front of the world. You're collecting all this personal information on all of us or any of us that are on Facebook. And of course, you want your right to privacy, but you're exploiting everyone else's right to privacy. So
that was a good shot.
I thought that was interesting. And of course, Democrats, many times, they are on the same page when it comes to privacy, as maybe Republicans. But the bottom line is there's probably not much that's going to change at Facebook, even though he says the big thing that Cruz was asking him, he was particularly upset with the bias that Facebook shows towards liberals against conservatives. And he was mentioning Diamond and Silk, the two black ladies that are so popular on Facebook that are big Trump supporters, and how they basically said that we are discontinuing your channel because you're not health. You're not.
What do you have to say about that? I'm curious.
Well, I didn't listen to Cruz's testimony, but I saw a report, after the fact. But he brought that up. He brought up, some other channels that have been, and the other thing is they don't always completely shut down a channel. As far
they
as
can screw with you, they've screwed with our show.
That's exactly what they do. They cut numbers. Now, they haven't screwed with our show per se because we are who we are. They have changed the way they collect the information, the way they work their advertising. And so the thought process is they have this carrot on a stick. And this is the same thing with YouTube. They have this carrot on a stick and they hold it out so far in order to get creators and broadcasters like us to to achieve these goals. And then once you get to this point where, and because some people actually make money off of producing these feeds. We don't use Facebook or YouTube for anything but just getting the word out, just getting the brand out. But some people actually are rewarded depending on their viewership. And when you get to a certain point, you're making too much money, according to Facebook or YouTube. So they stick that carrot out a little further. They've got new rules and regulations. Mm-hmm. You got to have more viewers and more, watch time and more subscribers and that kind of thing. And so, they raise the bar, is what I'm saying, and they keep raising the bar. And so I think that it's detrimental to the channel, because the other thing that's happening is there is a new video channel, much to be a competitor to YouTube, that promises not to do any of the things that YouTube does as far as collecting a lot of information and that. The difference is, I think that there's going to be some 15-second ad that occurs before each broadcast. And so that's how they're planning on paying for it. And I did sign up for a channel on that new, because you have to be approved.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll just have to wait to see. I signed it up for Talk TV because we have a lot of political controversial stuff on there.
Right. Patty Smalley, Steve Menderman, who's one of the guys that's opening the new diner there.
Oh, okay. Hey,
in
Steve.
Indiana. He is.
Well, good luck with your restaurant.
Good luck with it. Ronnie
and
Wallace, how you doing,
I want a double big burger, whatever that. I'm sure you have a signature burger, right? Yeah.
I'm sure you can.
Everything but
us.
onions.
I'm gonna be over about 12:15.
12:15.
So, yeah, 12:15. Is it okay if I bring Rick? I'm probably gonna bring my wife too. Is that all right?
Oh.
My wife and Rick might meet us over there.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay with that?
So put the vittles on. That's what he's saying. Charlie.
If you want to call in this morning, you can. I mean,
yeah.
Let me put my phone number up there for you. I think I gave it to you the other day.
So he's going to call in.
Yep. Okay.
So anyway, getting back to Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we stream live on YouTube now on our WZAA Morning Zoo. If you go to WZAALPFM.com and then you click on Morning Zoo, we are live on YouTube on the Morning Zoo on that page, so you can see us there. And, of course, we are streaming to Facebook as well. But
and it is 8:01, so we are WZAA LPFM
106.9.
Ohio.
Got a call coming in.
Yep, and here he is.
Wonder who it is.
Yeah. Hello.
You got to turn your mic on.
All right, hang on. Let me get you turned on the speaker here. All right, now is this Steve or Mike?
This is Steve.
All right, now Steve, you guys are opening this up together, right?
What's that?
You're opening this restaurant up together, you and your brother, right?
Well, actually, Mike is doing it. I'm just a hired help right now, so.
Okay.
So I'm actually out and about picking up a few things. I get to go do this and do that and do whatever and take the trash out. But he's the brainchild behind all this, so he's the one that's going to be there every day. So.
But you're going to be there today, right around 12:15.
Yeah, we'll see you there. But we're open this morning. We've already had our first customers in, and Delbert Morrow was our first customer. He walked in the door at 7 a.m. He said I was going to be the first one, and here I am. So, but yeah, it's a great day, and it's going to be nice and warm out for everybody. So we'd like to see everybody come out and check us out. And we're right there in the middle of Indiana, right there at down there on Main Street, right across from the gazebo.
Now, let me ask a question. Was there any thought about opening this thing on Saturday instead of Friday the 13th?
Well, some people think Friday the 13th is unlucky, but we've always thought that Friday the 13th is a lucky day. So
okay, all right.
Well, your first customer didn't write a check, did he?
No, he paid cash.
All right. Well, just want to make sure.
Now, I tell you what, just real quick, give us the hours you're going to be open and what's your menu look like.
Okay, well, the hours are going to be 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Open for dinner.
Monday through Saturday. And then Sunday we're going to be open 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Wow.
And then we will start having delivery here in a couple weeks once we get going.
Sure.
But, the menu is going to be pizza, barbecue, sandwiches. We'll have some daily specials. If you go to our Facebook page, the Diner New Vienna, it has the menu posted there and the hours. But today our special is chicken and noodles. So.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Your basic diner, burgers and sandwiches and different things. So, but we got a full menu.
So now, who came up with the name? Who came up with the name The Diner?
Mike did, and we went back and forth on some different names, and it was trying to, if we come up with this name or that name, it was like, I don't know, but he said, well, how about the Diner? Because everybody, especially being a small town, it's like, that's kind of quaint, and and they designed the logo, Cody,
okay.
and
I like the logo.
So it's just plain and simple, something. And then Julie Stevens, good friend of the family, she painted some murals on the wall. So a picture from like the late 1900s of looking down Main Street. So, and then a picture of the old train depot, and then a picture of Snow Hill Country Club in its heyday. So. We've got kind of the old feel to the diner. So,
well, if Charlie and I come out, she's going to have to paint our pictures on the wall.
Well, I got an idea which wall we could paint that on.
Oh, I bet. Well, no, wait a minute. In Jeffersonville, our picture was near the bathroom, so I'm having a feeling that you're probably telling us something
the ladies'
similar.
restroom.
That's right. It was the ladies' restroom.
I'm just saying I got a good feel of what wall. I didn't say which wall. Okay.
Richard Walsh is joining us. Richard, we got Mr. Menderman on here. He's opening up the new restaurant there in New Vienna. Now, so the only thing I've heard with confusion about your name, some people heard the diner and they thought it was Kim's Diner opening back up in
Sabina. Yeah.
But I've straightened those lost souls out so they know what's going on now.
The location is the Sunrise and More Bakery that closed down last year. They were there for a few years, so Mike took over for them, and we kind of expanded on the menu and that. So, but yeah, it's gonna look. I think it's gonna be successful, and a lot of people have been talking about it, and we love the support and appreciate you taking some time out on the radio show here to talk about it. So,
how many can you seat? How many can you seat in there?
What's that?
How many can you seat in there?
The seating capacity.
About 45.
Oh, that's pretty big. Yeah, that's good. Well, Charlie will take up 2 seats.
You have tables,
and he'll eat twice as much too.
Tables, booths, or do you have a bar, or what you got?
We have some booths and we have some tables, so we have a mix. So we don't have a bar, but now one of the other things we will have eventually with the carryout is we will do carry-out beer. So
really,
okay,
that's in the works.
Okay. Well, that goes good with pizza.
I didn't really mean bar as alcoholic. I just meant like a bar where people sit, like in an old diner.
No. I understand that. So.
Okay.
But anyway, I got to run. I got to get back up there. I got to pick up a few things and get back up to the restaurant. But,
so you gonna reserve my table at 12:15?
Yes, we will have your table reserved.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Steve.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Steve Menderman on the phone there from the diner in New Vienna. who it's just opening today.
And for those of you that speak English, it's New Vienna.
New Vienna. That's what I said, New Vienna. What do you think I said? I just joke around sometimes and say New Vienna.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's New Vienna. New Vienna. That's what I said. Hey, man, Christmas.
So this is a new business, a new restaurant.
40 capacity. That's surprising.
That's pretty big, yeah.
That's because this place doesn't look that big from the outside. I mean, you're granted.
Well, it's kind of hard because you don't know
Yeah,
how deep
I
it
know.
is. Yeah.
I know. I've never been in it. And I'm kind of.
Well, it was a bakery, I guess, before that. Then.
Yeah, I'm
That's
kind of
what he's saying.
ashamed, and I was never in it when it was a bakery. And I'm kind of ashamed to say this because I know Stephanie, and I haven't been in Stephanie's restaurant. But part of the reason I was never in Stephanie's restaurant was when I was teaching. It's open in the morning and afternoon. There wasn't any way I could even get there.
Right.
So I was going to stop there one day when I had to meet with some people for insurance over there. Then I went down there, and they were closed already.
So how many restaurants does New Vienna have? It's got the pizza place.
In Stephanie's.
It's got Stephanie's.
In the diner now.
It's got the diner.
And then also,
it's also got the Dairy Queen or whatever. Is there a ice cream place?
Yeah, there's like Cluxton's Dairy Bar.
All right.
Plus,
but you don't count the Quick Stop.
No, I was going to count Snow Hill. Because that's open to the public
that's
now.
true.
And you can go
and you
got to
plug them because, they bring in and feed you when you do your little Facebook Live things.
To eat too. Yeah. And it's
and it's a
open
beautiful
to the
place.
Public.
Yeah,
it's open to the public now. A lot of people,
but it's
probably
haunted.
Still don't realize that.
It's haunted.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is haunted. It is haunted. So if you guys don't mind, share the show out there. And like I said, we've got Daniel Kroger. He should be here in the next 20 minutes or so. And
Bill Dickerson, as soon as he had his peanut butter and jelly breakfast, he was going to be here. So I don't know. He will be here shortly.
He's clear from Bland.
But he has to. He had to nuke his food, so because he was going to, going to heat it up here. He thought maybe we had a microwave. Now we may eventually have all kinds of things here as we finish the studio out, but right now we do not.
So when are you looking forward to doing more morning shows from here? Because you mentioned that in the past.
Well, there's a few things that have to happen. First of all, in talking with our landlord, if anyone knows Brett Dixon, he used to be the economic director here for Clinton County. But anyway, Brett owns the building that the News Journal is in. So we're in the same building as the News Journal. The part of the building that we're in used to be a clinic. And so there will be some idea as to how we sort of fill this space, develop it out, whatever. Right now, we're just in what I guess probably was their office as far as the clinic office space. They've got the windows that slide. I wonder if anybody would bring in any money.
I doubt it.
No, okay. But anyway, so the thought is, because we're not replacing our Jeffersonville studio, the Jeffersonville studios we will continue to work on because they're still in progress, I guess you could say. We've got a set to build out, and that will probably be a little more elaborate as far as what we build out in Jeffersonville. We may eventually, build some type of backdrop and set here. And we're going to be doing something other than the table that we sit at now, as far as at least that much. But this space is divided up. Our space in Jeffersonville basically was one large 4,000 square foot space. And I put in a wall so that we had sort of an area and a back area. The back area is where we actually do the broadcast. The front area we anticipate will be area where maybe we have some office furniture and maybe a couch and some waiting area, a receptionist, whatever else we do in the front will be, as far as will be a separate operation. Marianne is watching.
Marianne's
Hope
on.
you get better, Marianne.
She's got a new nickname. Grace.
Right.
Grace.
Yeah. It
Marianne
could be
Grace.
the furthest from the truth there. But anyway, so the studio here and how we develop, we might, I used to have a computer repair center, and that we might do more technical things here because we've got an area where they have long counters and storage. So, they're just this is comprised of small rooms, which were originally
Doctors like offices.
they were little offices where they would examine you, examination rooms. And so we might eventually reconfigure all this.
No, we are not doing any probes, in case anybody's wondering.
But anyway, well, we could draw blood or something like that, I guess. But anyway, the whole idea was we do so much work in Wilmington, and we live in the Wilmington area,
Right.
that we would do some of our work out of here. The other thing is, once again, in Jeffersonville, there is a problem with internet access. We are limited right now with the access that we have. We use AT&T DSL, and it's very limited. That's right. And there is fiber in that location. It would be quite expensive to do. And actually, the cost of lighting the fiber, technically, as we call it, would be about as much as if we wait for this new cell tower that's going in to get wireless bandwidth beamed from that tower, which is near the Jeffersonville Water Tower, over to where we are, which is, I don't know, probably half a mile, quarter of a mile away. But the key is, for the same price, not only will we get bandwidth, but we also will be able to take our antenna from downtown Jeffersonville, which is at 30 feet, and move it to 150 feet on that tower. So that'll give us a better broadcast. The other thing that it will eliminate is the need for us spending $10,000, $15,000 for a tower, which we were going to put behind the building to do the very same thing, and that was to raise the antenna up.
Right.
So we may have to refile some papers with the FCC, because right now they're still thinking we're putting a tower. We've got 2 years to do this. We're putting the tower behind the building. We're not. I mean, that is if this antenna goes up this tower next to the water tower. So bottom line is, we can get more bandwidth here. There's fiber in this building. Once again, we're not going to light the fiber anytime in the near future, but there also is high-speed,
Come on, baby.
spectrum bandwidth. So the process is this: once the landlord and I are talking about, we're going to do some things together, and we're getting ready to launch the sales show. And he imports a lot of stuff. He used to be the economic development director. He's involved in a lot of different business aspects.
Right.
Has contacts in Europe and China and in Asia and that. And so he may be a source for some of the stuff that we import and that we sell. But the bottom line is, once we get all those things worked out, I'm going to get bandwidth, even more bandwidth than we have currently.
Right.
Once that happens, then we will start doing all our live broadcasts, which would be the morning show and the live sales show and anything else that we decide to add to our repertoire, at least until that tower goes up. And then
Over here.
Yeah, the tower that goes up in Jeffersonville.
Yeah.
So then we'll have all the bandwidth in both locations, and we might, we might do certain things here, certain things there. A lot of it, when we build out the setup there, it might be more advantageous with a nice backdrop, because the setup there will be a lot more elaborate than anything I'm planning on doing here. But anyway, this is still, these are decent digs as far as the things that we're doing here, and it gives us the ability to be closer to a lot of the stuff that we're doing. For instance, we'll have equipment set up here. We'll have equipment up in Jeffersonville. We'll have a lot of our broadcast equipment for our high school sports, which we do with Wilmington High School, Wilmington College, East Clinton, some of that stuff. That'll all be, from here.
Save you some travel time.
The other thing that is in the works, and I can't say a lot about this because we haven't even really, but Lee Hindy, who we used to do some stuff with Lee when he had WALH 106.7.
I was on the radio
here in when Lee obviously had passed away a year ago this month. In fact, it may be coming up as far as the actual anniversary of his death. But all our sports broadcasts that we did, Lee put on his station. And this was prior to me becoming a partner in WZAA with Mike in Jeffersonville. So we did our Campus Nation broadcast over WALH. And, of course, then with Lee passing, they lost the license. Now WALH is a streaming-only entity. They did some football and some basketball this season. I don't think they're doing any spring sports. And I don't know what they anticipate doing as far as the future. But our reasoning for opening a studio here in Wilmington was because we felt that, first of all, because we already do all the sports that we do, right, and we're the only one doing sports from Wilmington College. Now, WALH, I think they've done some Wilmington games. They do Blanchester. They've done East Clinton. Clinton Massey and that. I don't know what they plan on doing in the future, and that really is up to WALH. But as far as we go, we're introducing these TV screens all over the area. It will have our sports on those screens, and of course, we are visual, including our radio programming, our live radio programming. We're visual. WALH is simply over the air audio. That's right. So we're sort of TV and they're radio in the truest sense of the word. Now, we still have our over-the-air stream. But getting back to this announcement, because it's not really something that we can really announce, but there's another low-power station, excuse me, in Hillsboro. Same frequency, because they're low power, we're low power, we're far enough away, we do not overlap. Maybe
Christian station.
It is a Catholic operation.
Okay.
That's right. The Catholic diocese, I think, in Hillsboro operates that station. But LaRue is the engineer there, good friend of Lee's. Bill Raybeck is the East Clinton tennis coach. And LaRue is a tennis coach, I think, at Hillsboro. They got together. They were talking. And there may be some things that we can do with the Hillsboro station, like we did with Lee and WALH, which would be great. It would be great for them because they need to put more original programming, and certainly local sports in Hillsboro would be something that they would be interested in.
Yeah, sure.
So, and there may be other
We could
programs.
throw the morning show on there.
Sometimes. We get a little, especially when Marianne is on here, we get a little, when the doctor is in, it can get a little racy.
Yeah. Tommy Tobo Bryant, Ken Suzanne Oglesby, Dorothy Clinton, Dale Rothwell, thanks for joining us.
And, of course,
this morning.
Comrade Kim and I on Tuesdays might be a little too political. So I don't know, unless the morning show changed. And if it did, then we might not have all the great viewers and listeners that we've got out there to the morning show.
All right.
So we'll just have to see what happens as far as the future. Whether a sales show or not would be something. Once again, the sales will be more visual. We may broadcast it over the Marianne sends us thumbs up. We may do something over the air with our sales show just simply to drive viewers to the actual watching. But there will be a lot of great bargains. They will be bargains that are only good during the sales show. So it's not, these are one-of-a-kind items. We're doing a lot of pallet liquidation, that kind of stuff. So a lot of the stuff that we will have, you won't be able to get if you don't watch the show. And of course, they will be even below wholesale in some cases.
Wow.
So there'll be good deals if it's something that you're looking for. And that will start here once we get everything hammered out here and we get more bandwidth in,
Right.
so that we can do that. And I'm planning right now it being 5 days a week, and we'll follow from 10 to 1, follow the morning show.
Well, that'd be interesting.
So-
You'd be a busy man.
I will, yeah. And so, there are a lot of great things that are coming up. But with these screens, these television screens that we're going to be putting all over, we will be able to put a lot of what we do and what we stream, both recorded or archived, and also live broadcasts over those screens. So once again, these TV screens will be in places like the newly remodeled bowling alley. and also other.
MCs.
That's right, restaurants and places around in the counties that we operate in. If we do something in Hillsborough, once again, Highland County, we will be interested in putting screens down there. And they've got a great bowling alley down there as well. A lot of with a nice restaurant that's attached. So as we sort of expand out, there will be a lot of interesting things that will happen as we put these screens in Greene and Madison and Highland and Fayette and any of the counties that as we sort of go out in those areas. We'll be doing, and you'll be able to catch all our sports programming and all of our high school and college sports on those screens. Stuff that we've done the past 5 years and things that we do live. When we go live for, let's say this baseball game that we did last night, we'll put the live baseball game on some of those screens. If we're doing, live baseball from Hillsborough, in the Hillsborough area, those screens will have Hillsborough baseball.
Sure.
So I think it'll be very dynamic and very interesting. And, of course, people love our programming, and they love the things that we do as far as our sports because it's all local, just like WZAA. Right. It's local programming, and even though we are global and as much as we stream to the Internet, the whole idea is that it's local that
Showing
counts.
our part of the world.
That's right.
Nancy Rowland, Joe Spicer, how you doing? JJ Marie. JJ Marie.
Good morning.
You need to, we need to talk today because I'm going to take your trophies down tomorrow to get them all ready. She's got a car show coming up next Saturday.
JJ, don't let him sell you insurance.
Oh, she's already in.
Oh.
She's already in. We're just trying to get her doctor to freaking comply, to send stuff in.
To comply.
Yeah, well, I tell you, that's one of the most frustrating things with selling insurance.
Doctors?
We have to do these physician statements, and I put hers.
So what do they basically say? She's alive?
Well, I put hers in back in January, and through our company, we've tried 25 times to get in touch
with the doctors,
and we've left messages, and we've done this, and still nothing. And
well, maybe we should call Obama and see if he'll put in a good word.
I probably have 15 people hanging out there right now.
You think Obama could get something done?
No, Obama needs to be. Well, I'll just leave it to myself. But yeah, what'd you say, Gitmo? Well, yeah, something like that. Gitmo would be a nice place for Obama.
Oh, here we go.
No,
see, there's where the politics comes in.
Yeah, but that's your idea. I was just agreeing with you.
Well, I mean, it's Obamacare, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. But JJ, I need those 5 names of your trophies. She's going to give away a top 10 and 5 specials. I know it's a DJ's choice, a band's choice, MC's choice, her choice, and
MC's choice. Is that she doing it at MC's?
Yeah, it's going to be out at MC's.
So now, Charlie, you're in the car show business. Mm-hmm. You've already started the car show.
Well, we had one
season.
This week already. Yeah, and we're
you
going to
were
do it next week.
Where
too.
were you at?
Mama's Grill Wednesday.
And where is that?
Where was that at?
Yeah, where's Mama's Grill?
Oh, Williamsburg.
I'm trying to find out information and get it out there to the public.
Williamsburg. Well, no, she asked me a question. It says my doctor is supposed to call you.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I hope he does. Because I'm just going to say, hey, look.
Maybe we could get Mary Ann to write a statement for her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
As long as she
Mary
don't
Ann's
fall
a
down.
doctor. Of course, she's not a doctor of doctors. She's a doctor of psychology.
As long as she don't fall down.
Well, that's true. She's recovering from falling up. She bumped her head on the
we got to get her one of those little medical alert things.
No, we're going to get her a helmet.
Oh, that's right.
She falls down so much. We're going to get her a bicycle helmet or something she could wear.
Well, anyhow, JJ is in, and she's going to do a car show, and it's called Halos and Angels. It's for kids that have been abused, basically.
Well, we know which one.
Yeah, I am definitely the angel. Dean Gilliam, how you doing? So, and the halo. I got the halo holding up my
gray hair.
Gray hair. That's right. There you go. Dean Gilliam, how you doing? But yeah, it is. It's going to be a nice show. Hopefully, it's going to be next Saturday. I'll be DJing it, but also Teacher's Pet is coming out to play. That's a local rock band. And
Teacher's Pet.
Teacher's Pet. I think it's a $10 entry. She's going to have door prizes. We've got, like I said, 15 trophies to give away.
So will now they be playing inside or outside?
You know, it depends on the weather that day. I will be set up outside, obviously.
What will you be doing?
I'll be DJing also when they're not playing. So
the hearse will be sitting out front.
I hope.
Which one?
It didn't
Will
start.
it be the one with the
other day.
surfboard?
Yeah, it'll probably be the one with the surfboard. I've got to get it.
Well, I mean,
jumped
it's
and ready
spring,
to
right?
run. Yeah,
We're getting ready for swimming.
both my cars have got to be. I've got to get them
Tweaked?
fixed. Yeah. Well, one it's got a little. It's got a power steering leak again, so I got to get that fixed. And then my hearse, new one, it just needs jumped, I think. Oh, that's right. We have the IWA is going to be out there too.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to be at the IWA this Saturday evening, and we will only be audio. We will record the video, but the audio will be live. We're bringing you big time wrestling from New Holland, Ohio.
Yeah, so you ought to come, JJ. If you're not doing anything Saturday.
Yeah, everyone else that we know is going to be there.
Yeah, you ought to come out.
That's right.
Support the wrestlers. And she goes, you better be there, Rick, for a car show. I think she's talking about.
Okay. All right. And when is that?
The 21st.
21st.
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Okay. Well,
I can't remember the times are offhand. I want to say like 11 to 5, I think, are the times for it. So it's a little different than normal.
I guess as long as I don't have a
11 to
broadcast
5.
as far as sports.
Yep, it's next. I'll be out there, and I know Dave Foster's coming out, Tilly and TC. So we'd like to get about 25, 30 cars out there, if not more. So
well, we know MC's has great food.
MC's does have. Great
I love the
food.
pizza.
Home of Taco Tuesday and also Wing Wednesday. But Thursday really is the day to go out there because you can get 2 of those little pizzas. You know, the smaller ones,
right,
for $5.
Wow! Why didn't you tell me that, Charlie?
I just did. Well, it says on his menu too. That's 2 appetizers for $5, but it's not all.
She said 1 to 5, Charlie.
1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5.
You'll have people showing up at 11 o'clock, and there won't be anyone there.
5. That's right. They can go eat lunch.
Well, that's true.
They could go eat lunch.
Yeah. Well, Charlie's always thinking food.
So 1 to 5, and I will be there. I'll probably be there around noon because I'll have some stuff to set up.
Speaking of noon, where are you going to be at noon today?
12:15. I'm going to be at the diner.
So now, why is it 12:15?
Well, because my original plan dealt with me having to pick my wife up at 11:45 over here. So I thought it was going to take me a half hour to get from here to there.
Okay.
So, but
got it
now
all mapped
that's
out.
kind of went cattywomper. But we're still going to. We'll still make it 12:15.
You'll pick her up.
I'll pick her up at home
on the way, yeah,
if she wants to go.
Well, she's got the sick rat.
Yeah, hopefully it's better by then. She's giving it Benadryl. I guess you can give rats Benadryl. I don't know.
Gosh.
I don't know. But anyhow,
all right.
Yeah, I'll be. I'm gonna go out to the insurance office. I gotta do some stuff when we're done here, and then I'll go pick her up. Then
so JJ says I'll be updating car show today. What does that mean?
I mean, she's just going to put some stuff on Facebook, just reminding everybody about it. And she might, I don't know, put some door prizes that's going to be there or anything else. Sonny Hargrave, how you doing, Sonny? That is my cousin.
I was going to say, is he related to you?
Yeah, well, he is. But I've only met Sonny, I think, once or twice.
Where's Sonny live?
He lives up in the Dayton area. And he...
so you have relatives that close, and you don't know where he lives?
It's kind of odd because my dad had, oh my gosh, I'm going to probably mess this up, 3 brothers, Donnie, Denver, Clarence, and then he had a sister, and Virginia. And Clarence, he was the oldest, and he actually died in World War II, and Sonny is Clarence's son.
Oh, okay.
So he was on a ship that just, it didn't get attacked, but it just, like the boiler system and everything just blew up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
blew up.
Yeah.
While Clarence was out at sea, and I should know all the facts for that, and I've read them, but I just don't remember right offhand.
You're old.
So, well, no, it's
you're old.
It's just the way it is. Well, you were talking about
Facebook,
and Mark Zuckerberg
and Ted Cruz.
So I have a little article here about it. Let's just touch on part of it.
So let's touch on it, Charlie.
Yeah, let's do that. For the better part of its first 2 hours, Zuckerberg's testimony before Congress was a tedious affair. The problem seemed were the senators questioning him rarely before has the census of the Senate, which with an average of 63 is the oldest in history, been so apparent. Their questions were clumsy, demonstrating limited fluency in the workings of social media and its
Imagine
jargon.
that.
When Zuckerberg replies were evasive, as they sometimes were, many of the lawmakers seemed ill-equipped to push back. At one point, Senator Orrin Hatch, the 84-year-old Utah Republican, set to retire this year, asked Zuckerberg, well, how's Facebook plan to stay free for its user? And Zuckerberg...
Well, they don't.
But yeah, no, Zuckerberg said flatly, well, Senator, we run ads. But then Ted Cruz chimed in. The 47-year-old Cruz, who has been known since his Princeton debate team days as a gleefully caustic interlocutor, clearly arrived in the meeting chamber in the Hart Senate office building with a plan of attack. Only before the first 5-minute bathroom break of Zuckerberg's lengthy hearing did he choose to execute it. And when he did, for a few moments, Zuckerberg appeared on edge. Does Facebook consider itself a neutral public forum? Cruz asked.
Imagine that.
And Senator, we consider ourselves to be a platform for ideas, Zuckerberg replied.
See, that was evasive. He didn't answer the question.
It was a canned marketing point, and Cruz, with an air that suggested he knew Zuckerberg had walked into his trap, retorted with a more pointed query. Are you a First Amendment speaker expressing your views, or are you a neutral public forum allowing everyone to speak? Cruz demanded. It's a worthwhile question in the second decade of the 21st century as the internet continues to grow from a mere communication system to a plane on which we conduct our everyday lives, demanding new considerations of speech rights and the privatization of public space. But it turned out that all Cruz wanted to do was grind an old axe. His belief that Facebook has demonstrated a pervasive pattern of political bias.
No question.
In its monitoring and regulation of the content shared to its platform. He proceeded to rattle off a laundry list of examples. A Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day page that was banned in 2012,
right,
around the time that a number of Americans were protesting the fast food chain after its chief operating officer made comments against same-sex marriages.
Right.
Palmer Luckey, the virtual reality prodigy, who parted ways with Facebook after it was reported that he backed a pro-Trump conservative group that trafficked in anti-Hillary Clinton content. Diamond and Silk, the outspoken Trump fangirls who were reportedly told by Facebook this month that their content and brand were unsafe to the community. There are a great many Americans who I'd say are deeply concerned that Facebook and other tech companies are engaged in a pervasive pattern of bias and political censorship, Cruz said. Zuckerberg conceded that Silicon Valley is an extremely left-leaning place, but denied Cruz's insinuation that the bias had infiltrated the machinations of Facebook. When Cruz asked Zuckerberg if any members of the Facebook team tasked with monitoring users' content had ever supported Republican candidates, Zuckerberg said that he did not know.
Right.
It was a telegenic moment for Cruz, who faces a tough re-election in Texas this November, and now has a couple of more clips for his campaign television ads. But the gamut whiffs slightly of hypocrisy. Cruz accepted $7,500 in donations from Facebook during his 2012 campaign, according to an investigation by the Sunlight Foundation. But more curious here is Cruz's relationship to Cambridge Analytica, the data mining firm that hangs over Zuckerberg's 2-day visit to Capitol Hill. Last month, it was reported that the firm had relied on a Facebook personality quiz to access private data of nearly 90 million of the site's users, precipitating controversy over Facebook's privacy policies that had accumulated in Zuckerberg's testimony. The Trump's campaign's work with Cambridge Analytica has at this point been meticulously documented, but before Trump was a Republican frontrunner, it was Cruz who gave the firm nearly $6 million to help his campaign with data-driven advertising.
Well, the interesting thing about this, though, is this. The second in command, the female, her name escapes me, but she's under Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
She had said in I don't know whether it was actually in testimony, but she had made statements. Maybe this was one of the news programs, but she was quoted as saying that Barack Obama, his team had been given open access to the platform to take any and all information from everyone. So they just had sort of open season on all this private information during his campaign.
Wow.
Whereas when we talk about this Analytica organization, they still were, it was very controlled as to what they gave them access to. They knew they were getting this information. They wouldn't let them get the same information that they made available to Obama. And none of that is, of course, brought up by the lamestream media. It's just this thing where they're trying to make it out like the conservatives somehow penetrated Facebook and were able to glean all this information.
JJ says she's got 2 tickets to Dollywood to raffle off and a lot of stuff from area businesses and nice door prizes. 50-50 drawing. I ask all cars, trucks, and bikes bring a blue pinwheel to place on their cars in support of infant and child abuse awareness, or probably a blue ribbon would work, I'd say, too. By the way, my ex-son-in-law was found guilty of second-degree murder yesterday, and sentencing is in June and carries a life sentence.
Wow.
Well, at least they finally got him. Cheryl Brown, how you doing? Okay, our guest is here, so can you roll with us for a few minutes until I can go get him in here?
Oh, he's trying to find his way in? All right. That'll work. Charlie, you need to get to we could get you a free membership at one of these workout places. You're always interested in free. You could probably be eating a hamburger at the same time that you're working on the treadmill. That would work. So Charlie's guest is almost here. We don't know where Bill Dickerson is. He's like missing in action. Bill's going to be on this morning. But anyway, going back to Facebook and Zuckerberg, I think that, basically we have to realize that anytime you're on any social media, whether it's YouTube or whether it's Facebook, or for that matter, Instagram, even some of these instant chatting platforms where you think that what you post or pictures or what you say disappear and they go into Never Never Land, nothing that you send through these platforms is lost forever. It is retained by those companies and will be used in whatever way they feel, is best for them to use. And of course, you sign those rights away in most cases when you join and agree to their terms of service. And so your life is sort of spread open as far as the information that they can get, when you make these posts, when you do this. And that's just the way it is. Now, for some of us, out there, it may not matter. You may think, well, there isn't anything that's of any importance. But when I owned an internet service providing company in the old days of dial-up, a lot of people were concerned about the fact that companies would track, what websites they would go to or where they would bank or what. I don't know about other ISPs. We never tracked anything. We didn't even keep when people paid us by credit cards. I wouldn't even keep credit card information, so they had to give us their credit card every time they paid every month, over and over again, because we would keep no information on our clients or our customers. It just depends on the company, and it depends on, I guess, thing you have to remember, most of these free platforms, they're not free. They have to be paid for some way. They're business. And that is usually they get information from where you go, your habits, the things you do, to be able to put ads that are targeted specifically to you. And you've probably noticed this if you've ever done a search for, let's say, a camera or a cell phone or whatever. when you did these searches, all of a sudden on your Facebook feed or on all of a sudden on whatever platform you were on, you got all these ads, and they happen to be for the same things that you were buying there, as far as or looking for, as far as the platform there. So our guest is here. Come on over and have a seat. We've got a microphone for you. Hi, how are you? Ah, fine. I'll turn your mic on. Now, when it's red, it's muted, and when it's green, you just press the left button there. You're live, and I'm Rick Phillips. Pleasure to meet you.
Daniel Kroger, thank you so much for having me on.
And we're going to, now on the cameras, we are on our radio station's website on YouTube.
Okay.
And we're also streaming live to Facebook. And that is basically from the camera on Charlie's laptop.
Yeah.
But you are running for
state representative in the 62nd district,
and that is basically Warren County.
Correct.
Right. And so what part of Warren County, what cities does it include?
Franklin, Waynesville, Hamilton Township, Morrow, Mainville, a little bit of Blanchester, basically everything except for downtown Lebanon and everything south of downtown.
So it actually includes Bland or parts of Blanchester?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay. We weren't sure. We thought it was specifically Warren County, but so it does go a little into...
Just a touch. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about, for instance, the area that covers where we are in Clinton County. It stretches into Ross, a little bit of Ross. It stretches into several counties to get the same population base that yours does. So you got that. Charlie, I'm going to let you... I'll let you come in here, and you can go ahead and talk with our candidate here, and I'm going to go over and take care of the...
So I have you scoot over a seat here, Daniel.
Yeah, sure.
Get this thing, I got everything set up here. Let's see. Get you on. Yeah, it looks good on YouTube. Looks better now, doesn't it? That was a joke. I sit down, see you. No one got that, but that's all right. It's early in the morning. That's all right. Well, it's nice to meet you, first of all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Daniel Kroger, he is a
Thanks for having me
candidate. Now, help me out. What number district is this?
62.
62nd district, and that is in Warren County. And now, so, it does include Blanchester.
Just a little bit of it.
Really?
Parts of it, yeah.
So tell us, what are some of the towns that are in there?
We've got Franklin and Waynesville, Springboro, Hamilton Township, a lot of little outlying townships as well. Red Lion's in there, and so it's basically just all of Warren County except for Lebanon and south.
So you got Waynesville, you say they're
yes,
in
sir.
there.
Yep.
So what other Morrow?
Yeah, Morrow, Mainville.
So your district kind of does this number, doesn't it? It's
Correct.
like a little C kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the other. And you know what's funny was we were talking about this earlier. Just in that little C part of Warren County, it takes us 3 counties to get the same amount of people because this district, is Cliffs, and it goes from Clinton, Highland, part of Pike, all of Pike, and then part of Ross County also. Yeah. So that's pretty neat. Jennifer Atkins joined. Have you shared it yet? Have you had a chance to do that?
I have not.
So make sure you do that.
Absolutely.
And so now you're running on the Republican ticket, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you do have some competition. Is that true?
I do.
Okay. Now that's a lady. Is that right?
Scott Lips.
Oh, it's not
Mr.
the lady.
Lips.
There's
No,
a
sir.
lady running down there too, isn't she?
In my district.
Not in
there's
your
two of us.
not in your district,
Yeah.
but in the other district in Warren County. Because I keep seeing this lady running for office on Cincinnati News,
Yeah.
Cincinnati, just TV. I can't think of what her name is. I thought that was who your opponent was.
No,
So
I'm not aware of.
yeah, it's a blonde-haired lady, but anyhow, and she must be running maybe for the other district because I see like Lori Vyers and people like that commenting. You know Lori?
I do.
Yeah, I know Lori too. So now, what about your Republican Scott Lips? Is he an incumbent?
He is.
He is the incumbent. How many years has he been there?
He's
then?
been there for 2 years. This is his second year in
Okay.
office.
So, and these are only 2-year terms.
Correct.
Yeah, just for people who don't know,
absolutely.
For people who don't know,
Allowed
2-year
to serve
terms.
4 times, and they're 2-year terms apiece for a total
Yeah, and then like Cliff, who he just resigned here, he was in his final year anyhow.
Right.
So he was term limited out.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this earlier in the local election for Cliff's seat. Now, are you did the Warren County Party, the Republican Party, did they come out and endorse either one of you or not? Or
The establishment endorses Mr. Lips.
okay.
Of course, since he's
See, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think if you're running a primary, you shouldn't endorse because whoever wins, you need to be behind that person in the fall.
Well, my opinion is it's the people's decision.
Right.
The people vote on us. The people elect us, and we should just put it out there and let them decide.
Now, your main job is you're a pastor. Is that correct?
Correct. I'm a pastor, and I'm also an RN.
Oh, you're an RN too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Rick, he's an RN too. So if you get sick or anything, we can take care of you right here.
I'm not on duty right now, so you're on your own.
That's Bill. That's Rick's son.
Nice to meet you.
No, we have fun here.
Absolutely,
we have fun.
Absolutely.
And your buddy, like I said, was on last week. And are you a hunter also?
I love to hunt. Absolutely.
Well, here I got to show you this. Then I don't hunt at all.
Okay.
But this was my first and
Looks
only
pretty
attempt
good.
at shooting a shotgun yesterday from 20 yards.
That looks pretty good.
So, obviously I was aiming in the center,
Sure,
but
sure.
that's
Yeah.
not bad. I mean, you think I'd kill a turkey?
Is that bird shot or what is that?
It was a 3-inch thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Looks pretty
Yeah, it's for turkey. Yeah, because we're going to, I got some, on Thursdays we do the show and we have a hunting fishing segment.
Yeah.
And these guys are bound to determined to get me out hunting.
Yeah.
So.
Got to exercise that Second Amendment right.
Right. And I'm trying to get our mutual friend to find us a little honey hole down there in Warren County where we can go turkey.
There you go.
So, but I don't know if he's going to come through or not.
You'll have
So,
to let me in on that. if you find out.
okay. Would you turkey hunt too? Then
Absolutely.
I take it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Talk to him. Let's see if
Yeah.
we can do
Yeah, let's
something
do
here.
it.
Because, but I don't even have my own gun or anything. Yeah. We won't talk. We're here to talk about you running for office. We're not here to talk about that. They've heard all about it on Thursdays. So so do you have any support out there? Has anybody said, "Hey, we're putting our money behind you"? So who's that?
We're super appreciative. Got lots of support. Candace Keller, the representative in Butler County, is supporting us.
Okay.
Nino Vital, he's a representative up in Columbus area. He's supporting us. Of course, we got Steve Muterspaw, Ray Warwick, Tom Z from the Tea Party. And then we've been endorsed by Warren County Right to Life, Cincinnati Right to Life, Ohio Values Voters. Lots of great organizations jumping in with us. We appreciate that.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So you do have the right to life,
Yeah,
people.
absolutely.
I thought I saw something where you didn't, or somebody else did that. Yeah. But so you do have the right to life endorsement.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm so confused because I thought you were running against this other lady. So I was trying to do a little opposition research, and you're not even running against her. So
Yeah.
all that time's out the door. Now, where's Mr. Lips from?
He was the mayor in Franklin. He was
Okay.
down in Franklin area, and he's been down there most of his life.
I got a lot of battery left. So he's a mayor in Franklin, and this is your first time into the political venue.
First
is
time,
that right?
First time. Yeah.
Okay. No. So what? I mean, there's got to be something there. What was the reason?
Yeah, I got a couple issues that I'm really passionate about.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the heartbeat bill, but that was a bill
Sure.
that would have taken abortion here in Ohio. And as soon as a baby gets a heartbeat, from that point
Can't do
forward,
it. Right. Did that pass or not pass?
it passed through the House, it passed through the Senate, and then when it got to John Kasich's desk, he vetoed it.
Well, Kasich's a rhino. He's not
He is.
even a
He
Republican.
is a rhino, absolutely.
So, see Phil Hoskins on there. He says,
There he
vote
is.
for
There's my
vote
buddy.
for Dan. He's
Hey,
the
Phil.
man with the plan.
Yeah.
So the heartbeat bill passed everything except Kasich rejected, and they didn't have
Correct.
enough votes to override the veto. I take it.
Right. And now that
Now, how did Mr. Lips vote on that?
well, he was the last co-sponsor, and it took 4 months. We had a plethora of phone calls, representatives going into office, and he couldn't really make a decision, and finally finally went ahead and co-sponsored it. But of all the Republicans, he was that last one.
Yeah.
Of course, Warren County is the most conservative county in all of Ohio.
Yeah. Clinton's
need to
pretty
be leading
close
that. Yeah,
where you're
yeah,
at
there
right
you go.
now.
There you go.
Clinton's pretty close. So what was the other thing? You said
Pastors Protection Act.
Okay.
There's an LGBT community out there, and if they came in to my church and said, "We want you to officiate the ceremony for two homosexual couples,"
right.
we don't really know how that would turn out in the courts. Of course, there was the cake maker,
The cake deal, yeah.
maker, and so he was kind of forced down the wrong road. So they put a bill out there just to protect those ahead of time, kind of get ahead of the plan.
Right.
And Mr. Lips wouldn't sponsor that at all.
Really? Well, you should have the choice.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, they have the choice to do what they want to do.
Right.
And let's get this right out there on record.
Well, this is America.
You don't
It's all
you
about
don't have
freedoms and
anything
rights.
against those people because they're just sinners. Everybody's
Sure,
a sinner,
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
and you know they you know no sin's different than another sin, and you may not want to keep that sin going, obviously,
Correct.
or be forced to do that. So I
But we
get
love
it.
the sinner. We're
Right.
just not there.
Don't love the sin.
for their sin. Correct.
Right.
And they're welcome to come to our church, sit in our services. We'll be friendly and shake their hand.
Oh, definitely.
And, absolutely.
Now, where are
absolutely.
you the pastor at?
Cornerstone Church of God up in Springfield.
Springfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a little bit of a drive
It
because you
is
must
about
live in, where do you
40,
live at?
45 minutes.
Waynesville or?
I live in Springboro, right by the high school.
Oh, okay.
And we got a little 5 acres out there, a couple
Oh,
animals.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
My boss lives out there, a guy named Bryant Brown. You probably don't happen to know him, do you?
No, I don't.
He sells.
I'm sure
we
he's a
both.
great guy if he's your boss.
He is. We work for Modern Woodman Insurance, but I'll tell him about you to make
Yeah,
sure that
absolutely.
he knows that
Yeah.
because I'm sure that he lives Waynesville, Springboro area, so
Okay.
that would be your district.
Absolutely.
So now, your other person that's running, how's the TV ads? You got any TV ads going, or has he got any TV ads going?
We don't have any TV ads going. I'm not sure if he does or not. There's a lot of online social media type things, Facebook,
Right.
different things like
And
that.
that's where it's at. You can if you want, yeah. Yep, that end one. Well, yeah, I agree. That's where it's at to
yeah,
go ahead and
yeah.
get that going. But I mean, TV still is pretty good, and radio. You got any radio ads going up in that area?
No,
or?
that stuff's expensive. That's expensive.
Oh, I
We're
know.
we're running a grassroots campaign, and we're just dependent on viewers and guys like you invite us on.
Yeah, knocking on doors.
Absolutely.
A lot of knocking on doors
Yeah,
and
dark.
signs. I saw you had a bunch of
We got a
signs
bunch
out in
of
your
signs.
truck.
Yeah.
Got some big signs.
Yeah, got some big sign, big 4x8s.
People don't realize how much it costs to run a campaign.
does.
I mean,
It's
it's
expensive.
there's a lot of expense involved in it. Well, Phil, make sure you share the show so you can help out Dan the man
Yeah,
here.
help
Okay,
us out, Phil.
Phil, I'm still waiting for that honey hole for the
Yeah.
turkeys.
Yeah.
For the turkeys. So is there a pastoral association that's maybe got behind you or anything? It's
Well, we've got several endorsements from some local Warren County pastors here.
okay.
We don't get their churches to endorse just because they're covered by a 501c3, and
Right.
we don't want to get involved with the IRS and stuff, do anything illegal. But the pastors definitely have a right to endorse who they choose, and several of them have got behind us. We're thankful for that. Just recently picked up endorsements from the pastors of Solid Rock.
Oh, that's a big church.
yeah.
Now, is that your district too, or are they?
A lot of people go there
That
are
live
our
in your
but
district,
they're
yeah.
just outside of it.
Jason Hoskins says we need good men like Dan Kroger
Yeah,
in Columbus.
there's my good
Now, I
friend.
have to ask. Now, since your last name is Kroger,
Yeah.
are you any relation to the?
I wish I were. Yeah.
Wouldn't be running for Congress.
Absolutely.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
Now, so how do you stand on? I mean, abortion. Obviously, we know how you stand. We
Yeah,
kind of got a
pro-life.
feeling on how you
Absolutely.
end with the LGBT. You don't harbor any resentment or
No,
anything
not
like
at
that.
all,
You just
not
want
at
to
all.
protect everybody.
Correct.
Well, and guns. You're obviously a pro Second Amendment.
Absolutely.
So now you say you turkey hunt, you deer
Yep,
hunt too,
yep.
and
I love to deer hunt.
really,
Yep.
what's more fun, turkey hunting or deer hunting?
it just depends what moment. If you're just sitting there in the tree stand all day not seeing anything, I think I'd rather be walking around. But there's nothing like when that big 16-point buck walks in.
Oh
and
yeah.
you about fall out of your tree stand.
uh, and turkey hunting. They say turkey hunting's really hard. Is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they have really great eyesight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm looking
It's a
forward
rush
to it.
though. It's a lot of fun.
Is it?
It's a rush. Yeah.
Hear that? See that big bird come in
It's
there?
pretty rewarding when you sit down with your family and you got a harvest that you just got. So.
Right. Well, and that's the only thing. See, I'm wimpy on this stuff. I say I do this, but you guys got to clean it and
Oh yeah.
gut it and all that.
Of course,
And
we don't shoot anything we don't eat.
right. And
Yeah.
and what we're trying to do this show where they're taking me through shooting.
Yeah.
They're gonna take me out and.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna film some stuff there, and hopefully, if I get one, then we'll have a little
There you go.
closing part
Yeah.
to where we're eating the turkey.
Absolutely.
And I guess that wild turkey's supposed to taste a lot better. Is that right?
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
It's good
all
stuff?
Natural. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's some of the top like 4 or 5 things that you see in Warren County that you want to go to Columbus and say, look, Warren County needs this, this, and this. What would be your top 3?
Well, wow, just top 3. There's a lot of things.
Well,
we can do. Of course, we've
what's
already hit the pro-life, and we've already hit the Pastor's
Right.
Protection Act. I don't know if you realize it, but Medicaid takes 50% of the budget.
Oh yeah.
So I believe in being fiscally responsible, spending our money wisely. Of course, the opioid epidemic is just going crazy. I'm an RN.
Yeah.
I told you that earlier.
Yep.
And so I'm at the bedside right there.
What do
with
we do
families.
though about that? I mean, I just don't see any unless you're just going to put drug dealers away. Nothing's going to happen. I mean,
Well,
that's the only way to do it. You got to start putting them away.
You got to get tough. And I tell you what, a lot of times we're talking about fixing a problem that we haven't even stopped yet.
Right.
We still got people coming in, bringing them in. I got a family in my church there in Springfield, and this isn't just Springfield. This is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But he had went to the pen because he was addicted on he was a good man on a bad drug.
Yeah.
And ended up going to the pen. He was getting drugs inside
The prison.
penitentiary.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Well, it's just like there in Warren County. Now, you don't have the correctional institutes in your care.
Right.
Did you see that where the milkman was bringing stuff in?
Yeah.
He was bringing cell phones and drugs and putting them in the milk cartons
Yeah.
and getting them to.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That wasn't
I
that
did
long
not
ago.
see that, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
look
wasn't
it
that
up
long
now.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was in Lebanon.
Right.
And the Warren County Correctional Institute, Lebanon Institute.
But I'm also a founding board member, City of Refuge. Not sure if you've heard about that. It's an orphanage we're trying to open.
Oh,
we're not
neat.
trying to. We're going to down in Middletown, Sister Church Calvary Tabernacle.
Yeah.
And
An orphanage. You don't hear that term anymore.
yeah. Well, what it is with this influx of the opioid epidemic, you've got all these kids, parents have overdosed, and unfortunately they're not there to raise their children, and so we have a lot of these kids. The foster system is just
Right.
overwhelmed, and I don't know if you remember hearing about that little 5-year-old boy down in Franklin, just going door to door trying to find something to eat.
Yeah.
And
Huh.
kind of grabbed at our heartstrings and began to talk.
I didn't hear about that. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem here in Clinton County. The commissioners had to ask all the other departments to cut their budget, like
Sure.
10%, non-employee budget, 10%, so they could have more money for children's services because they're just running out of places to
Right.
to put
Yeah, it's a
people.
real problem.
They're even putting kids that should be going into like foster homes into JDC for a night or two, just because they got to have some place for them to go.
Right.
They're not in trouble. They're just staying at JDC.
Sure.
So because there's beds available.
Yeah.
So, what else? What else do you think? In your district, what just like local needs? Like, what's a big local need besides the opioid? Because everything you said is right on target, I think.
Sure.
But is there anything that's just really local to your district that you'd like to see happen?
Well, I mean, all these things, they really hit home. They hit locally.
Sure.
We see things in a great big way across Ohio, but until somebody breaks it down, and that's the thing, too, you see on the news, all these things, and we may not be on border security, down in Texas or anything.
But it needs to be done.
But if everybody does their part, then you see a huge difference. I think a lot of us, we put the need and the thing on everybody else. So when we jump in there.
Oh, and I like I said, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree
Absolutely.
with everything you've said. I think's been right on. But like, talk to me like if look, I live down the street from you. I know you, but I don't know you that well. I know Lips is my representative.
Yeah.
What can you bring to me locally that I'm gonna fight for? Like, is there any like highway issues, street issues, anything that is just like local to your district that you know you need to get?
Well, what's
out?
happened a lot is this kind of goes back into the past a little bit and even brings Kasich into it. He's kind of boasted about saving money for Ohio and stuff
Right.
like that. I'm a conservative. I'm all about saving money. But what he's done is he's cut the budget so small we can't even afford to repair our roads. And, common sense budget cutting is great, but you got to give people enough money to do your roads and stuff.
He speaks with forked tongue.
Yeah.
Because, and I've mentioned that on this show before. See, I used to be a mayor of Sabina, and when they cut out these local government funds that the state was sending, well, yeah, the state makes them look good. Hey, look at all this money we're saving and all that, and then the local governments have to go and ask for more money because they're not getting the state funds
anymore. You're passing the problem on to the next guy.
Right.
Because when you let your roads go, it's going to take a couple years.
But then,
bad enough.
He signs Medicaid.
Yep. And so then he gets to sign out. He's termed out. The next governor that comes in is going to have a whole host of problems.
Right.
You got 8 years of disrepair you got to put back together.
Anything there that you would like to expound upon there? We got a couple different gubernatorial candidates on the Republican side. Do you
I'm
have
behind Mary Taylor.
Are you really?
And Nathan Estreth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, I guess I am not, just because Mary is associated with Kasich.
Well, you need to.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're
look into that a little bit deeper.
Right.
As soon as she got in, she began to give her opinion, and he just cut her out. He wouldn't give her any more opinion. So she was the lieutenant governor, but she has not had much of a say.
Right.
This past 8 years.
Yeah. I don't have anything against her, but I think her just being associated with John Kasich is enough to get her beat. Yeah. Even if she's the best candidate in the world. Well, and DeWine, I like DeWine. Yeah. DeWine has done some things for me personally that I really like. So
and everybody's open to their own opinion.
Right.
We definitely respect that.
Right.
One thing I would say is iVoter Guide. I don't know if you've ever looked on that or checked that out, but we use iVoter Guide a lot.
Yeah.
That's a company and organization that's gotten together. They do a lot of research on candidates, and they don't just check in what they say. Of course, all the candidates want to get up there and preach a song or preach a message whenever they're running, but they look in where their money went, how it was spent, who they've backed, not just yesterday, but the whole time they've been in office and even before.
Yeah, iVoter Guide.
iVoter Guide, yeah.
So that's something to check out, folks, if you're not sure, because it probably, the way I'm hearing it, it kind of explains everything, right?
Absolutely. And it gives them a score just for like a quick and dirty.
How they rate on this, how they rate on that.
Yeah.
So how's your rating on there?
Oh, I'm conservative.
If we look you up, how's your rating on Facebook?
I'm very conservative on Facebook. Yeah.
Have you looked that up?
I have looked that up. I did. I checked that
out.
I
looked that up. I'm very conservative also.
Yeah.
Rick's more conservative than me, and he just got conservative.
Oh, yeah?
I don't get it. Yeah. I don't get it. But anyhow,
well, there's a lot of stuff going on with Facebook right now.
Oh, in there, though? Yeah. It's bad. Yeah. Now, what do you think about Trump?
I even seen Zuckerberg in a suit the other day.
Yeah, when Ted Cruz, we were just talking about that before you come in.
Yeah.
And talk about Ted Cruz grilling him a little bit.
Yeah. I'm definitely a Trump fan.
You're a Trump fan?
A Trump fan. I'm on the Trump train.
All right. So some of these I've already shared to you, but I'm just making sure on this device, I want to make sure I share this again to people who might actually, be in your area. So Clarksville, there would be people that might tune in there that would be in your voting area.
I need to jump on here on my page.
And go ahead and do that. Just let me see. I might be able to do that too for you here. And what we're doing, guys, if you haven't done it yet, is share the show this morning.
Yeah.
Now the show will stay up, okay? And a lot of people watch our show and they tell me this. They will go home in the evening.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are working
Sure.
right now, and then
Sure.
they'll watch it, and especially this weekend coming up. Because one thing people do like about this show is that it is local, and we get people from all over, but it's local, and that's the great thing. Yeah, there you go. And you just want to turn the volume down.
There you go.
Turn your volume down.
We got it.
And then go to my page, and let's see. I think you might be able to share it from there. Let's see.
There we are.
There you go. Just put it on your. There you go.
All
Now,
right,
but
we're
you
on.
can also do this. Let me show you something here. Well, wait a minute. Let's get out of that. Click on it a minute. Now you can come down here and share. And those groups. You want to push?
Wow.
Push it. It'll
Awesome.
share it right to those groups. So
We'll do
if
it.
these groups are in your district, you want to hit those real quick.
We'll do it.
All right. So we're speaking with Daniel Kroger, and he is running for Ohio House of Representatives. I would do it now. I just start popping
okay.
them. Just
All
start
right.
popping them. And he's definitely conservative Republican running. And again, give me that district number.
62.
62.
62nd district.
62nd district, which comprises geographically a large swath of Warren County. Now there is another district in there. Now who's the district? Who's in the other district? Who's the
Paul Zeltwinger.
Paul Zeltwinger?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you guys get along good? Or?
He's a good Christian conservative as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has he come out behind you or not, or has he just stayed?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, so he hasn't.
Sometimes guys get behind people and then they get burnt.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't like that for primaries. You
Sure.
know, after the primaries over, then we can do it
Right.
all you want then. But no, I don't like doing it for primaries. I just don't think it's the right thing to do, and that's just my opinion. I don't
Sure.
know what you
Sure.
think of that, but because let's say they didn't endorse you, but you win the primary. So that kind of you have an uneasy relationship then with the party or whoever it may be. But they want you to be in there as opposed to the Democrat. Now I assume there's a Democrat running.
Yeah.
Now
yeah, there will
who's
be.
running in the Democrat?
I'm not even sure. I didn't even. We're taking this one step at a time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, there probably is somebody. I would assume, right?
Yeah.
That's
there
running
is.
on
I
the
was
Democratic
I
side.
was on there the other day and saw that there was somebody that signed up for it.
Now, do you know by chance? Do you know Todd May?
I do not.
Todd May's been on our show several times, and Todd is he's going to be running for the House district here, but he's running as an independent. And one thing that really bothered me about Todd was that he went to the Republican Party to see if he could maybe get endorsed and talk to him. They didn't even return his phone call.
Yeah.
They kind of have their hand-picked choice over here.
Sure.
And I just don't like that. I just don't like that a bit. So now, will you have to give up anything if you go, because you're an RN, you're a pastor? Are you planning on trying to keep those jobs as you go? Because how often does Ohio House actually meet?
Well, it just depends on how many committees you're on and what you're doing. I think you have to be up there every Wednesday, just as the bare basic minimum.
Right.
Of course, I want to do a whole lot more than that.
Right.
So right now I work 3 days a week as an RN, 3 12-hour shifts, and Mercy Health's a great company, but I would probably go down to 1 day a week just to keep my foot in the door.
Sure.
Type thing, but I want to give this everything we have, everything it deserves to represent the people here.
Because it's only a 2-year term. That's the bad thing about those. Because it seems like as soon as you get elected, you're running again.
Yep.
Basically, because it has to happen that quick. Now, so looking ahead, let's say you get in, which is great. Do the Republicans look like they're going to keep the majority, or they're talking about this blue wave in November? What do you think?
I don't know. We're not really sure. We're not really sure. This is kind of unprecedented. Don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, Hillary was going to win too. Yeah. Oh, I don't think there's going to be a blue wave either. Well, in Ohio especially, I don't think. I think the Democrats just have they have a huge problem. They have a big lack of leadership on the front end of their group. They when you look at Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi as the heads of your party, I think that's kind of tough because they're not, number one, they're not that charismatic, and they're very, very liberal. They're not
Well, I think
middle
one
of the
thing
road.
that makes them kind of like a paper tiger is they've got all the news media outlets.
Yeah.
Other than great folks like yourself, but it makes them look bigger than they really are.
Let's see. Jeremy Sloan's watching. Jeremy, we're going to do wrestling from New Holland. If you want to come join us, we're going to be doing wrestling from New Holland this Saturday night. Now, have you been doing that? Have you been going around and doing like Todd May? He does like his little, I think he calls it his restaurant tour.
Yeah.
He goes around and announces where he's going to be at so people can come and meet him. Are you doing that?
Yeah, we've been going to lots of different places, meet and greets.
Have you been going to lots of council meetings? And that's a good way to go and
Sure.
to let
Absolutely.
people know
Absolutely.
you're running. Have you done any parades or anything like that yet? Or
Well, it's been a little cold for the parades. Just
yeah.
yet.
Well, opening day.
Yeah.
Opening day might have been a good possibility because I tell you what, if you ever do this again, y'all do that
Absolutely.
because there's over 100,000 people on that parade route.
Yeah.
I guarantee some are from your district.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Some are from your district. Has anybody come to you saying, "Okay, well, look, if you're running, we want this"? Is there any big needs out there that people have come to you and said, "Hey, we want you to get in, but we'd also like to see you work on this"?
Yeah. There's been a lot of different people with individual separate issues. Had somebody the other day concerned about the first responders.
Right.
And, I don't want to get into all the details. We were saying they weren't completely fair on everything, the way their wages and stuff were.
Yeah.
And, so I was been looking at some of the bills on that have been passed recently and in the past. Of course, we're big supporters of our police, first responders.
Yeah.
Appreciate those guys. They don't get enough support and respect.
Okay. What else? Because you said you had a couple.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back here.
And you don't have to be it doesn't have to be anything that's pinpoint. Just,
Right.
tell me,
Yeah.
just in general. Because one thing about running, especially in your district compared to ours, is you can get really a lot more localized on the issues. And I'm not telling you how to run a campaign at all.
Absolutely.
But I would be doing that.
Yeah.
I would be going, okay, look, when you go talk to those people, what are your concerns? What's your needs?
Sure.
What do you see as the problems? Which I'm sure you probably do. But if you can get this down to where local people, are going,
Absolutely.
this is what we want, and you can tap into that.
Right.
Because there might be some things out there you could tap in right now and you don't realize it yet.
Sure.
And I would do that. I mean, I would try to do that as much as I could. And,
one thing too about running is it seems like a lot of candidates do a lot of talking. I try to do a lot of listening as well.
Yep. Oh, I agree. You need to.
Yeah.
And that'll pay off more for you in the future.
Sure.
Definitely, I agree. And you'll have an open door policy, I'm sure, when
Absolutely.
you get to be the representative from the district. Does it feel intimidating at all?
It does in a way. But on the other side of things, I look at this like it's not about Daniel Kroger. It's about the issues that we stand for and the values that we have. So in that regard, it is intimidating, but it's not intimidating because it's not about me. So there's nothing to be intimidated about.
See, I've been involved in politics, but I think I would even still be a little intimidated by just going up to the State House and doing all those things. We didn't take a top of the hour, did we? Should we just mention that we are WZAA, LPFM, Jeffersonville, Ohio, 106.9. Bill, are you going to join us?
Yeah, I didn't want to butt in. I was like, you guys were going pretty good.
Well, yeah, you can come on over. You can come on over. Bill Dickerson's in the house because you might have some questions I wouldn't think of. I don't know if I'm going to get you on camera or not because we're three pretty big boys. But let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can get you on here. Maybe. Oh, let's see.
There we go.
Hi, how are you? I'm Bill
Good.
Dickerson.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bill
I'm
might be one of your constituents.
I'm from Boulder.
Now, come this way, Bill. That's why I was trying to get you in the picture.
Whereabouts do you? What's your district?
Franklin, Waynesville, Springboro, Morrow, Mason, Hamilton Township, Red Lion. So most of Warren County.
It might be close. We're close. Bland's right on the edge of Warren and Clinton there.
So do you live in Bland?
Yeah.
So he lives actually in the city of Bland. So with
Yeah.
that,
Are you running?
not.
I'm
We
sorry. Are
can-
you running for state rep or?
Correct.
yeah, state representative.
62nd district.
I'm the 91st district.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're 91st. I haven't even asked you that because I really don't want to put you on the spot, but I guess we'll go and ask. What do you think about Cliff's deal?
I mean, I've been tuned into it, watching.
You know, he has officially resigned now.
Yeah, I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was reading that at first they were saying May 1st, and then he just said immediately.
Oh wow! So he did.
Resign.
Well, because of some pressure from other members of the state government, they said, well, if you're going, you should just go ahead and do it now if you're under investigation. And I'm like, I don't know. And here's my thinking on it. I've told people that I think personally, I don't think he did anything wrong as far as intentionally.
Right.
Now, and this is something you'll have to be aware of too. I'm thinking he might have got set up a little bit. I think on a couple of these trips, he was probably legal to take them. But then when other people come up to go on those trips with him, I don't know that he knew about that.
Right.
And I think that may be where the problem lays.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
I've met Cliff a couple times. I really like him. I
Oh,
think
I
he's
do
a
too.
nice guy, and you know what? I think the court of public opinion, sucks sometimes.
Well, and this is they're just saying this is basically a big political move, and
Well, I mean, this was also his last term. When was his term up? What?
it's at the end of this year.
So what? December 31st or
Pretty
whatever.
much, yeah.
I mean, it does seem to look like a move,
Well, and the timing of it, because from primary, we're only about 3 weeks out. May 8th. So.
And also, I was reading. Evidently, there's some. Obviously, his job is, as Speaker of the Ohio House, a lot of people want that job too. So, I read maybe that's might have a little to do with it. I don't know.
He's in a powerful position, and
wait and see.
And I don't. I'm assuming this come from the left, this political push, but it makes you wonder too, because the people that are running now, one pretty much is Cliff's hand-picked candidate, and the other one's running is he's a good popular guy from Hillsborough, Shane Wilkin and Beth Ellis, and Beth was pretty much. If you look at Beth Ellis's campaign brochures, it's hard to find one that doesn't have Cliff Rosenberger's picture attached to it. So, do you know Beth or Shane? Have you met either of those?
I have not.
Representatives?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know they're getting ready to have like a little debate here pretty soon. Rick, did you see that? Yeah, they're having like a meet the candidates at Southern State, Wilmington. Brother-in-law or something, or campaign treasurer, really? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Sister-in-law. Yeah, I knew there was in-law there somewhere. Now, do you have any debates coming up, or any kind of meet the candidates with Mr. Lips or not?
Not yet. We have. I was just at the Robert Sprague event, and he's running for, I believe, treasurer as well, and went over there. And we're trying to do a lot of door-to-door stuff. Personally, I want to talk to people individually.
But you're not out. You guys don't have anything set up.
We're getting ready to do a fundraiser. We haven't released the date, so that's to be announced.
Okay. So what
we'll
kind of
doing that.
fundraiser are we doing here?
anything to raise money. I'll get the pocketbook open right here on air if you'll let me.
No, I'm just asking. What are
No,
you
we're
doing?
gonna
I mean,
have,
is this just going to
type
be?
of a dinner?
Oh,
One
okay.
of people come out, meet
You're
'em,
killing me, Smalls.
and yeah, Candace Keller has offered to speak at it, so hopefully that'll bring some folks in.
Candace Keller,
Yeah,
help me out, because we're not. Who's
yeah,
she?
she's the state representative in Butler County.
Okay, she's
and,
Butler County. All right.
She's over the pregnancy center down there. Does a great work. She's been down there for
Candace
years.
Keller.
Yeah.
That's how Bill
Phenomenal
knows her. No, I'm just kidding. No. So Candace Keller. All right. Well, and you don't know when this date's going to be, though?
Not yet. Not yet. We will get with you and let you know.
Well, if you want to come back on here anytime, too, you're more than
Yeah,
welcome.
I appreciate
before
that.
the election.
I
And,
appreciate
and if anybody's watching from the Lips campaign, he's more than welcome, too, because we are media. We
Sure.
have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not going to.
Absolutely.
And
Discriminate.
whoever the Democrat is that's running, you're more than welcome to come in, even though we don't know who you are. You know.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie runs car shows. You might be able to put something together for him, maybe a fundraiser or something
Possibly,
like that.
possibly. It might be a little late at this juncture, but that's why I was trying to find out, because I could possibly help him out depending on what date it is and where it's at, and if there's free food involved.
Yeah.
So you have any idea where you're going to hold this event? I'm going to try to pin you down here.
It's
so.
going to be locally. It's going to be locally. I don't know if it's going to be like a church or maybe rent a center out or something like that.
Someone's backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do it, Barbara.
Rent a center, yeah, that's what he said. I don't think it'll be at Rent
No,
a
not
Center,
Rent a
but
Center,
yeah, he'll go somewhere. So, what's like if I'm going to your district? Let's say I'm out of town, okay, and I'm coming to your district. What are some of the things I want to see in your district?
Well, we want to get jobs in our area.
No, I'm talking about like if I'm coming from out of town, just visiting. Are there any like pretty cool things that someone should see?
You mean like attractions?
Yeah, anything like that. Well, Kings Island, is
Kings
that
Island's
that's
right down the road.
but is that in your district?
No, I don't think so. That's Kings Mills more.
Okay.
There's a little bit of Kings Mills in our district. There.
Right.
I don't think Kings Island
What about
actually sits in our district.
what about anything else that's in your district? Is there anything like historical
We've
places
got
or
lots of, you can go through downtown Springboro and see. I think they have a tour down through there.
Oh, really?
Really, really good. A lot of underground railroad type stuff.
Oh,
a lot of
really?
history there.
Okay.
And so that's really
Waynesville.
Yeah.
You have still have the antique shops,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to think. Like, you have an airport right there down from Waynesville, right?
Yeah.
And don't people go skydiving there or something? Or
Down in Middletown. Yeah.
well, no, right outside of Waynesville, I think. There's that airport. I think they might skydive out there too.
Yeah, maybe they do. I don't know. I've never been in a skydive.
You have to go
I keep
check
my
that
feet
out.
on the ground.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out here.
There you
I'm trying, and then there's golf, of course, Holly
Sure,
Hills, and
sure.
there's probably some golf courses up around the Springboro. Do you play golf?
I do. I love to play golf.
Do you? So where do you play at when you play golf? In your district?
There's the Springboro. I can't remember think of the name of it. You put me on the spot here.
Charlie's good at that. He
Yeah,
does. He likes
yeah.
to put you on the spot.
No,
here.
I'm just trying to make you.
I should have brought a notebook. Was that Heatherwood Golf Course? Is that what it's called?
Is that I don't know.
can't
I don't know.
remember
I
the
play, but the closest I've played probably in your district would be Holly Hills. I have
And I
played Holly Hills.
I played several times down in Franklin there.
I've played at Locust Hills, but that's not in your district. I don't believe that's.
I don't think so.
Are you a Buckeyes fan?
Yeah. Yeah. We love the
There
book.
you
Phil-
go, folks. He's a
There you go.
Buckeyes fan.
Phil
There's a
Hoskins
couple of
says
votes there.
one of the sights to see is the Corwin Pentecostal Church. There is some good hunting in your area.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
Well, your
absolutely.
district is more rural,
Yeah.
and if you think of Warren
Isn't
County,
that where the German buck was killed in Springboro?
The German bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't
it's
know.
the record crossbow.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
see, I didn't know that.
I
Yeah,
got
I
a
didn't.
friend named Brad German that did that.
Nice.
Oh, really?
That's why it's called the German buck.
Okay. Well, you were confusing me there.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yep. Bill will look at Bill. Now, so you're a Buckeyes fan, which is good. He's not a Michigan fan. He's a
Bengals
Buckeyes
or
fan.
Browns?
Bengals.
Bengals.
Yep, a Bengals fan. So he's singing right. But you like the Browns too, right?
Yeah, they're all right.
I mean, they don't win. So I mean, I'm a Bengals
They're
fan,
not a
but
threat.
I'd like to see the Browns get better.
Absolutely.
I will
would.
say if they're playing the Steelers, I'm definitely rooting for the Browns. That's for sure.
Now, does your district have like a day at Kings Island or a day at the Reds? Like a Warren County day at the Reds? I knew Highland County does that. Highland County has a Highland County day at the Cincinnati Reds.
A lot of towns do that nowadays.
Yeah.
I know Blant, where I live,
Sabina
they do
even
that.
used to do that, had a Sabina day at the Reds. So that might be something to think
Yeah,
about,
absolutely.
too,
Absolutely.
Um,
I need you as a campaign manager, man.
Well,
Just
now
jump
you
on
know
board.
me. I mean,
absolutely.
I've done. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying this to tout my, because I don't care if I would do this stuff or not. But I used to
Sure.
work with a guy named Frank Cremines. Frank Cremines was a United States House Representative member for a couple of years out of Gallia County.
Mm-hmm.
And a great guy. And unfortunately, he has passed away. But him and Ted Strickland, always used to run against each
Okay.
other. And Cremines was just smart. Yeah, he had some money, but he's fun. I mean, like he had these silly campaign signs out one time, had pigs rooting,
Right.
and it says "We root for Cremines," stuff like that.
See, that's a neat.
Yeah, but he was fun. He was fun. But I got to do some really neat things with him, and I've mentioned this on the show before. I was able to sit in a room one time with him, Bob Evans, obviously, from down that area, and Steve Forbes.
Wow.
That's all it was. That's Forbes. I didn't say a word. I just sat back and listened.
Sure.
And I took him to campaign events. He would, I was when he come down this area, I was kind of his driver and would take care of him. And then he also he also was able to let me meet Charlton Heston when Charlton Heston was president of the NRA.
Wow.
And I've done some other things too. I used to work. When Bob Taft ran years ago, I was his campaign chairperson for Clinton County. So I got to go up to the governor's place. I've met a lot of people through Cremines. Met Jack Kemp, Bob Dole, George Bush, and George W. Bush. So.
Remember a few years ago, I think when George Bush was running for his second term, when he landed right out here at the Roberts, when he came.
Yeah, well, Bush, also Trump did that too. I don't think Trump came to the Roberts Center. Trump always spoke out airborne.
Trump had a rally out there across from that at the Roberts Center across from McDonald's.
Yeah, Bush did. I think. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Trump did too.
Trump did too, but I know Trump most of the time. He had 2 or 3 stops where he just came out.
I never got to go see Trump.
I didn't go see Trump either.
I always wanted to.
Well, I tell you somebody else too before you leave today. I will give you a friend of mine's name who does the weekend show on WLW.
Okay.
And he'd probably be willing to have you on also.
Great,
He does a trucker show though.
Okay.
So it would be like he's like Friday and Saturday night from midnight to 5 a.m.
There you go.
But that's you have a lot of trucks in that area.
Yeah.
You got a lot of truck drivers.
Yeah.
We got a lot of truckers that actually will watch this show, and it's kind of fun because they'll call in. And they'll say, "Hey, down in Florida today," or "I'm over here in Pennsylvania," or "I'm over here." And a couple other things that's been interesting about doing this show is we've had even people from Hong Kong, England,
So you're
people
reaching all over the place.
California. I mean, it's interesting. Now, like you see that number and you think, man, that's all it's watching. Well, that's not. That's just my friends that are watching.
Oh, okay.
There's more people out there that can be watching because, like, you've shared it with your friends and your groups, and Bill shares it with, and so not all those people. Those are just the friends I have that are watching.
What do you call
right
that? It is kind of
deceptive.
Exactly. Very deceptive.
Yeah, usually we get around 1,000 to 1,500 views a day, sometimes 2,000.
Last week we getting 1,500 usually.
Yeah, last week Bill had a guest on from Louisiana. We had 5,000 views on it.
It's really getting out there.
Well, the best show we ever had, and Bill was a big part of this because he shared it a lot from home. It was over Christmas break, and we had 30,000.
Wow.
So. And you never know because this is Friday, so it'll be on. Now, the weather's nicer today, so more people are probably out, not watching it right now. If the weather's crappy tomorrow, they'll probably come back and watch parts of it.
We've been averaging, you guys, towards the beginning of the month, I've been going through and looking at the.
in case of possible death to the mother or incest or something like that. So he was like 99% pro-life.
Right.
But I'm also pro-life on the other end. I'm not a big death penalty guy. I think it's worse that you stay alive and you have to realize every day what you did to put yourself in the position you are than just getting off the hook easy and being killed.
Yeah.
That's and I know it costs more money, but I think that's a worse punishment. How do you feel about that? How's your death penalty stance? Do you have a death penalty stance?
Yeah, I'll probably have to disagree with you a little bit on that.
Okay, so you like having the
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we're not just wanting to end everyone's life for any little thing
Right.
we do, but in like the case of murder and like premeditated murder, I'm not just talking about
Right.
like involuntary. But yeah,
Or
when it
paid
calls for it.
assassins, maybe,
Yeah, well, and you never know what the future holds. Like we've had presidents come in office and they just write a pardon for everybody and their
Yeah,
brother.
that's true.
I mean, there's no way to know. And really, I feel like you're saving lives because they're not going to be here. I mean, what's the percentage rate now of criminals that get released and they end up right back in?
Well, probably
It's very high.
It's probably, yeah, it's high.
It's
But
like 1 in 3.
no, I'm not. But no, I'm not saying. I'm saying life in prison. I'm saying no chance of getting out. That's what I think.
I don't
That's
think there's any better way to say no chance than just ending it.
yeah, but I think that's letting them off the hook. That's my opinion. It's opinion. I mean, I'm just
I
like.
think a lot of our prisons are filled up already, and we can't take care of other.
Well, and
other issues, and
they're filled up a
we're
lot of
paying for
times
them.
with non-violent people
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
If you're a drug user, you probably need to go at least to county jail for a while.
Yeah.
But if you're if you're a drug, if you're selling drugs, put them in jail, throw away the key. I mean, and I'm not going to go out and campaign against not having the death penalty.
Right.
That's
Sure,
just my own,
sure. Yeah.
my own view, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much in line with like and I'm not Catholic, but I think that's pretty much in line with the Catholic
Yeah.
Church.
And I'm not making that like an issue that I'm gonna.
Right, that you're not running on, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pro-life, you want to protect the pastors. Definitely a Second Amendment gun guy. What else would describe you?
Fiscally responsible. A lot of Tea Party backing. We believe in spending our money wisely. So that would be huge. I'm a Christian. I already mentioned the pastor.
Right.
So pro-family in any way. So we're pro-life at the beginning of life, but also at the end of life too. There's been a lot of euthanasia type thoughts come up here recently, and
Yeah. And I guess in that way, I think I'd be more sympathetic to letting somebody end their life if they're in constant pain all the time. Something like that. I think I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, but I think I'd be more sympathetic to it.
Yeah.
Because both my parents have passed away, and that's not fun when you're my dad was in a nursing home about 7 years, and my mom was just a little under a year. So I don't wish that upon anybody. So but no, so you agree? You don't really think there should be any kind of early death then, right? Or any assisted suicide? Is that
not assisting.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. Like you said, euthanasia. And I don't know that that's really a big issue, is it right now or not in the state of Ohio?
I mean, it's always something that you keep in the back of your mind. But no, it's not. I don't think it's a big issue that anybody's.
And it is legal in some states.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to go that route, you just go to that state.
I know medical marijuana is getting ready to play a big role right now.
Yeah, it is. Now, you brought that up, so you brought it up. So I'm going to ask you. So what's your feelings there?
I feel like marijuana is a gateway drug. I don't know. I've ran into a lot of folks that ended up being addicted to heroin or cocaine, and I ask a lot of them just to find out, have you ever used marijuana before? I've never met one of them that ever says that they haven't smoked marijuana.
Right.
Have you ever smoked marijuana?
I have not. I have not.
I haven't even smoked cigarette.
I haven't either. I've never drank alcohol.
Now, I can't say that. I have done a little bit of that. But I don't do much. And I might have, like I said, I tell people about 12-pack a year.
Yeah.
Now I got
A
a
year.
question. You say your district's in Franklin, Middletown.
Yeah. Not Middletown.
Not Middletown.
Middletown.
That's
Just,
Butler County.
Right.
Morrow. Now,
Waynesville.
it's everywhere. Obviously the opioid epidemic.
Right.
I met with Senator Rob Portman about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
What are your views on, taking care of the opioid epidemic? Like maybe, are you into like helping out possibly different kinds of like clinics, or what are your views on?
This is a multifaceted answer, and first we got to stop future people from becoming drug addicts. But then our hospital system is set up completely backwards. I'm not sure if you're aware on how the payment system works. We've got people coming in, and it makes sense to a certain regard, but it doesn't. Based on customer satisfaction is how the hospital gets paid. Well, if you come in and you're a user, and not you personally, but just someone individually, if an individual comes in and they're a user, a lot of times they come in through the ER and they're looking for prescription medications to take that high, to get that high again. So they're not going to be happy when the physician comes in and says, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to prescribe that to you because it's not healthy for you. So then they get upset, they go home, they get their little phone call, they get on there and they give everybody a bad rating. So then the reimbursement for that hospital, the payment for that hospital and the physicians is tied to that person's rating. So that whole system is set up to where a hospital is going to get their funding more if they go ahead and go along with giving that user the opioid prescriptions. So that needs to be fixed. We've got a lot of drugs coming into our systems, right? Like we send them to prison, and even though our prison is not an actual rehab center, hopefully, I believe the communities would hope that the prisons are responsible enough not to allow the inmates to get drugs on the inside, but they are over and over and over. Drugs are getting into everywhere. So we've got to figure out ways to get tough on that and stop that. And
Now,
when we stop those things, we can stop future problems.
How do you feel about the like the Narcan? A lot of people are doing like a lot of people have opinions like the 3 strikes and you're out type deal.
I tell you what, that's a hard thing to answer because I understand where they're coming from. I understand they're saying that we've done this over and over, but as an RN, this is kind of where I look at it. Could I be the person to walk over somebody that's laying there that did opioid, even though it was self-inflicted? Could I be the person not to give them that Narcan when they're laying there? So I think when you look at it through those eyes, you may come up with a different. It's easier for me to look at everybody else and just say, cut off the Narcan, we're spending too much money, we're giving too much time. And all those things are accurate. We are spending a lot of money, and we are spending a lot of time, and we could be talking about heart attack issues, but I couldn't be the person not to save
Here's
somebody's
my
life.
feeling on that. Yeah, that's nice to say, hey, 3 times, bud, you're done, your history, you're toast. But in all reality, this is an emergency situation.
Right.
You're not going to take, wait a minute, let's call, make sure this guy has still some Narcan available to him. And then you call, yada, 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 yada. And then by the time you give him Narcan, he's already dead.
Yeah.
So it's not even.
Well, then secondly, how do you know that that's what it was when you showed up? How many times in the emergency room have we been, and we think that it was an overdose, but it ended up being something completely different.
Right.
How long have you been a nurse? Are you an MD or a nurse?
I'm a nurse.
RN?
Nurse.
Okay. How long you been a
9-10 years.
Wow. So you've seen a lot. You've probably
Been
seen
around,
it all.
Been around a few things.
Have the nurses got behind you? Any other nurses since you're running?
Well, a lot of my friends up in Springfield, of course, they're not in my district. I wish they were. That's kind of the unfortunate thing about working and pastoring
They can still.
in another county. But yeah, they're definitely behind us. I've had a lot of them ask for signs and stuff. I had to say, "Hey guys, those signs are expensive."
Yeah,
we
I don't
keep
live
them
up
inside
there.
the district,
But you
but-
could maybe get some bumpers too, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and a lot of them have called family and friends, and we've gotten a lot of support that way too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's something. If I was your campaign manager, I think that's something I would really push.
Yeah.
Is that you are a nurse?
Sure, we've
And
got
I
that on our literature. richer.
Well, and I tell you something else, and I need to look up your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at it earlier, it's like I said, when I saw you in the parking or out here to bring you in the show, I thought, well, you look, no offense, but you look a lot younger than you do on your Facebook page. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna look real quick again. Let's see.
Go to the other one. That's my personal one. Go to.
Well, I just want to get your picture.
Okay.
That's the one I want to get.
Yeah.
Now I kind of walked in when it was already you guys already
Yeah,
started
sure.
chatting.
Go ahead.
Has he asked you like what made you want to become a run for it and that?
Yeah. And I told him the two big things were the heartbeat bill. Want to try to stop abortion as much as possible. Personally, I believe that life starts at conception.
Mm-hmm.
The heartbeat bill would be a whole lot closer to that than we are now. It would be whenever a baby gets a fetal tone heartbeat that we can hear, which is usually right around 6 weeks. Secondly would be the Pastor's Protection Act. It would be protecting our pastors. They already tried to pass this through. Let's say if a homosexual couple came in and you were a pastor, they wanted to mandate you to perform their ceremony.
Oh, okay, I
you
got
could
you.
if you wanted to. You have that freedom and that right, but we don't feel like
Your
you should have
churches
to.
may not like that though either.
Yeah.
If you do that.
Yeah. Sure.
So no, I don't know why. I think it's just the shadow in your picture underneath here. You just look like and with the black and white, I think that makes you look older.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a young
Hey,
guy
I'll-
here. He's only
I'll try to
32.
look as young as I can, as long as I can. I
Well,
appreciate it.
no, I don't. I mean, I think the black and white.
Yeah.
Do you think that? I mean, you look like an older person than you.
I'll
Don't
take
you
it.
look at that? You
A lot
Billy,
of people say I look older. My wife looks younger, which
Yeah,
he
but
looks
loves
older.
that.
That's because the black and
The
white.
yeah, exactly. I think the black and white does a lot. Put you back,
And then
making you
the little
think like that.
shadow down here. I just thought, man, this. I actually thought you were more my age. So
Oh yeah.
old as dirt. No,
And you
I'm
got
just
your, you're a family man, huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Big
Four
family,
kids.
It looked like, yeah.
4 kids, and actually, it's my second daughter's birthday today.
Oh,
So
happy
happy
birthday.
McKenna! If you're watching.
Happy birthday. Yeah,
That's really
definitely.
cool. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I think we've kind of covered everything at your district. I think if you come on in the future, bring some list of events where you're going to be
Yeah.
at,
Absolutely.
where you're
absolutely.
going, what you're going to do.
We'll do it.
You know,
And I'll
now-
tell you what, if anybody's watching on here and they want us to come by, we're knocking on doors every day.
Now,
and
what-
we want to meet people.
What's your campaign Facebook page?
Daniel Kroger for state representative.
So did you guys hear that? Say that again for him.
It's Daniel Kroger for state representative. The way to get there is facebook.com/vote Daniel Kroger.
And I've
There you
already
go,
liked
pulling
that.
it up.
So
And I'm sure any relation. I know you've probably heard
I wish
that
I
a
were.
million times.
I wish I were. We wouldn't be trying to raise any campaign money if we already if we were in the loop.
I like your campaign sign, by the way. I used to. I went to college at Southern States.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cliff Rosenberger,
Yeah.
Bill Horn was my economics teacher. And,
Okay.
Cliff Rosenberger's first time that he ran for state rep, he was running against Bill Horn, and I was hanging signs for Bill Horn.
Yeah.
so you were a Democrat at that
No,
time.
I mean I'm not a Democrat. I have
I don't know if I tell everybody that.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
my views got I just have a way of thinking. Facebook calls me a conservative.
Sure. There you go.
I got a lot of conservative views, but some things I
Right.
tend to lean the
Right.
other way.
And if you go to his page, you can go through, and there's lots of people who have endorsed Daniel. I'll go through here a few of them. Let's see, Nino Vitale, Candace Keller.
Vitale, as in the grocery store in Morrow.
The representative.
Oh, okay. My
I don't
bad.
know if
Sorry
he's
about
any-
that.
if he's any-
There was an old grocery store called Vitale's there in Morrow.
Yeah.
Sorry
Past-
about that, Rick.
Pastor Phil and Bethany Hoskins, the Right to Life Action Coalition of Ohio. So that's not the Ohio Right to Life.
That's not Ohio Right to Life.
So who did they Are they behind you, or are they behind your?
They're behind Scott Lips, but I would forewarn you to do a little research on Ohio Right to Life.
Okay.
Now they are ran by a lobbyist. They used to be, the powers kind of changed there. So to me, it was no surprise that I didn't get their endorsement. I think they also endorsed a lot of other rhinos.
Okay.
Something to check out.
Pastor Kelly and Alicia Rogers from Waynesville.
Yeah.
Jason Hoskins. Oh, he's a pastor also.
He's a youth pastor.
Oh, founder of
Spalding Road.
Men of Faith. Okay.
Yes.
A lot of faith-based people in your area are
Yeah.
backing you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
says a lot to me, anyway. If I was a voter of your district,
Sure.
Pastor James and Kim Setzer.
And that's kind of one of our strategies in running. Just be who you are. You know, I'm a pastor, and we want to get a lot of Christians to get out to vote. A lot of times the church doesn't vote a lot. I think they came out a lot for Donald Trump, which is one of the reasons he got elected.
where are you a pastor at again? I'm sorry.
Cornerstone Church of God up in
Oh,
Springfield.
okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Conservative Republican Leadership Committee, Ohio Value Voters. These are all endorsements for Daniel, so you got a lot of them. Let's see, what is this?
I need to go. I'm gonna go ahead and
Ray Warwick, Tea Party leader and former GOP chairman, endorses Daniel Kroger.
Also got Tom Z. He's not on there. Yeah, maybe he is.
Ohio Citizens PAC, the Tea Party, endorses Daniel Kroger. Warren County Right to Life endorses Daniel Kroger. Let's see. So I'm seeing you've been at a lot of places. You should have brought me a shirt, dude. I could have worn it on the show
Yeah,
for you.
yeah,
a few
we would
times.
have.
Big 3X if you get one.
We'll get you one.
3X. And when you have your event, that might be a good time to come back on here so we can know.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
All right, so here's a sign: constitutionalist and Second Amendment advocate, avid hunter and outdoorsman, coach with Upward Basketball, Sunday school teacher, youth pastor, and senior pastor, board member of Orphanage opening late 2018 in Middletown, attended
Wow.
Ridgeville Christian School and Miami University. Okay, so you're a Red Hawk, huh?
Yeah.
RN since 2010, critical care RN. Now, what hospital did you say you're at?
I'm at Springfield Regional Medical Center.
Springfield Regional
critical
Medical
Yeah.
care
Center.
too.
It's a
So
mercy
that's definitely
Yes, sir.
getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yes,
RN
sir.
since 2010, critical care. Let's see. Family is active in 4-H, American Heritage Gifts. Strong supporter of our military, police, and emergency personnel. So, what's your wife think about you running for Congress?
She thinks that I need to just cool my jets a little bit sometimes. I'm an RN full time, pastor in a church, and then I guess I just got bored at home.
Got a lot of irons in
No,
the fire
I'm just
there.
kidding. She's behind it 100%. She's been helping us. Actually, the other day I was driving. She was reading the addresses off, and my kids were putting literature in people's doors. So we've got the whole family.
The whole family's involved,
Absolutely.
yeah. Let's see. I've known Daniel Kroger for 15 years. I'm confident he will reflect the conservative moral and physical values of our district. He's a solid conservative we can be proud of. And this is Steve Mooterspall, a
I don't know if you know,
Clear Creek trustee and former Ridgeville Christian school teacher.
the last election was there was a three-way race: Scott Lips, Steve Muterspaw, and Ray Warwick. Ray Warwick and Steve Muterspaw were both very conservative candidates.
And they split the vote.
They did, and it would have been like a 60-40 for the conservatives versus.
So you
the
think you got a
moderate.
good shot then?
I think that kind of, if you add the numbers up, if they're still there, it gives us a chance.
Now, do you have like people ready to call for you that day to remind people to get out to the polls?
Yeah, we're going to
Do
be
you
doing
have
a lot of that.
people?
We
Do you
wanna
have
get some
people
poll
going?
workers and
Do you have people going to the polls and checking to see who has and who hasn't voted yet?
Like exit polling, I guess.
No. You can go at certain times of the day. They will put up, I think, a list of people who have voted, who
okay.
hasn't voted,
Huh.
and you can go check that. That way, you can go to your callers and say, "Hey,
here's who you hit.
we need to call these people." Or have you organized? You need to organize vans to go get voters.
Yeah,
Take them. I mean,
sure.
you know, Let's see. Campaign contributions will help Daniel Kroger purchase literature and yard signs, make checks payable to Republicans for Daniel Kroger. 5376 Widener Road, Springboro, Ohio. Ohio residents get a dollar-for-dollar tax credit, so you can give for free up to $50 per person or $100 per couple. Just keep a record of your check details for your tax preparer. That's true. So instead of paying your state taxes, later on or whatever, you can take that 50 off of it, basically. All right, let's see. Anything else here I'm missing on the Facebook page?
I think that's it.
So who's your treasurer, you or?
Jonathan Rice.
Jonathan Rice, okay.
He's doing a phenomenal job.
Now, what these videos come up underneath it here? Kroger clip for state representative.
Kroger clip is mine. I don't know what the other ones are.
Okay, that's Bill Clinton on there.
I think that's just folks. Stuff on there.
People being silly.
Yeah.
You see what they're doing?
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, Snapchat endorses Daniel Kroger for state rep.
Yeah.
Donald Trump. That's fake news.
Jokes.
Those are fake news,
Yeah.
people. So when you see those, don't go nuts and say, "Oh yeah, look at that. He's being endorsed by." Yeah. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. So I think it sounds like you're in pretty good shape. Now I'll be honest with you. I was thinking you were running against this woman, so I hadn't even heard of Lips until you mentioned him today. I think I've heard of him in the past,
Right.
but I haven't even. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think you just got to get out and knock on them doors every day, and you got to have your you got to get people out there, doing it for you also.
Yeah.
So I assume, have you had like campaign committee meetings and all that, and trying to get people to do certain sections?
Yeah. We've had a lot of support, divvying stuff up, giving everybody their piece of the pie.
Well, if they can do that by wards, usually too. If you have like ward captains for each for each one, where they can go and
kind of
do that.
People over different precincts.
Right. Yeah, we'll have precincts, wards. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You definitely need to. And I tell you, the other thing too is early voting.
Yep.
I mean, because voting has already started, folks. In
I think
Ohio.
I'm going to go do that today after we're done.
You're going to go vote today, huh?
Yeah.
I sometimes early vote.
Me too.
Sometimes I don't. I don't know. It's such a freaking hassle to get in the courthouse now.
Right.
Because you got to get rid of all your metal on you, take your belt off sometimes. And it's like.
Board of Elections in Clinton County, do you know if it's still at the big courthouse?
It's still at the big courthouse right now, but they are talking about moving.
Yeah, I was reading
out to this area.
in the News Journal.
Not in here.
Up there at the annex, county annex building up there.
Yeah, they are talking about moving it. So now, if people want to go vote for you right now, where would they go vote?
That's at the Board of Elections in Lebanon.
In Lebanon.
Right there where all the city buildings and
so
stuff.
if you want to early vote, you can go. And also now's the time, too. You can call them and request absentee ballots.
Yes. Yep.
So if you're going to be gone, you need to do that.
Correct.
At this time, or just go in and vote either way. Sheila Spicer, Dwayne Woodson, Richard Miller, Alicia Payne Howard, Mike Worthington. Glad you guys could join us today.
Yeah.
Got Daniel Kroger on. He is running for state representative of the
62nd district.
62nd district down here in Warren County.
Right.
Real nice guy. He's a pastor. He's an RN. And anybody down in the Warren County area, I highly recommend him. He's
For sure.
He's super intelligent, and he's a lot younger than he looks on his Facebook page. You need to change that black and white picture. It's a nice picture of your family, though. How many kids you have?
I got 4 kids.
Family man, a
2
good,
boys, 2
good
girls.
Christian. I'm telling you, that's
Pastor
awesome.
in Springfield. How big is your
Pastor.
congregation?
About 100 people.
wow. That's a big
And
congregation.
then we reach out on Thursday nights and Sunday mornings. We bring in them anywhere from 30 to 50 kids.
Oh, good.
From kind of rough areas.
You know, I was a bus kid growing up.
That's awesome.
I got a lot of my morals from that. From
That's a
riding
success
the bus.
story.
Yep.
That's awesome. You do that.
Yeah.
Dean, I am not running. All right. Thanks, though.
I was going to vote for Dean, too.
Dean, I am not running. Mr. Kroger's running. There you go. And if you live in Warren County, make sure you vote for him. Bill, you didn't see my shot here. Check
I
this
seen
out.
a picture on that. Old
Check it
Deadeye
out,
over
man.
here.
Yeah.
I got to show it one more time. I got to brag one more because
There you
you
go.
got to realize this is so outside of my comfort zone. This, I mean, and
Did
there's
you like it?
my one and only shot right there yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I didn't shoot it twice because I didn't want to screw it up. I thought I got it right the first time. Obviously, I was aiming at this orange or the black diamond.
Yeah.
That's pretty daggone close.
That'd
for
be
me.
a dead turkey.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
They said that would take care of that turkey. They said you're supposed to aim for like the throat
Right,
of the
right.
turkey. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm pretty daggone proud about that.
Get you
There
good at
go.
that, we'll take you out bow hunting.
Oh, my God. I couldn't even pull that thing
Oh,
back.
you could do it. You could do
That,
it.
those things you
Get
can't
your
even pull.
crossbow. We'll get you a crossbow.
Where you just shoot it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I might be able to do that because that's not as hard to pull back.
No.
Is it?
No.
Man, there's big compound bows there.
Yeah.
I'm too wimpy for that. I can't do that.
Oh no.
That's not me. So see if you can get Pastor Hoskins and see they want to shoot a video of this, and you guys, you could
Yeah.
maybe be a part of this
Yeah.
too, or
Let's
we
do
could
it. Let's do it.
do another one. I've got to go get my hunting license, and I guess I got to get a turkey permit, right?
Yeah.
Is that the way that works? Well, so what will that run me approximately? You think?
I think the licenses are $25 now.
I don't hunt. I
I usually
fish.
get my doe tag or deer tag.
Yeah,
I do that too, which is another $25 or something like that.
but you get a turkey tag too, right?
I think so.
How many? Is there a limit on turkey?
I think you can only.
It's like per day,
Oh, okay.
and then that changes per county too.
Yeah, it's different in different counties.
Some counties don't let you do spring turkey hunting. I don't think, or maybe it's fall.
Yeah, well, up northern Ohio, there's a
Yeah.
big difference
Yeah,
for
yeah,
some
yeah.
reason. Up near the Cleveland area, I'm not sure why.
I always read my game book before I go out every year.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes
I'm
laws
just depending
change,
on
too.
these guys.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
They said get your turkey permit and get your get your hunting license, but I'm almost afraid to ask this because I haven't done this. You don't have to go through a hunter safety course or anything.
In order to get a license for the first time, I know the underage.
Underage
Kids
do, I
have
think.
to.
Yeah, I don't.
I
think.
took it years ago.
Or you can do the apprenticeship program, which is what I did with my boy.
Well, this is the first time, Rick, we've had a trying to reconnect at the very end here of the show. So that's interesting. It looked like it was pretty clean, though, throughout. That's an internet problem. We can't do anything about that. But luckily, it's about 10 o'clock anyhow right now. So, well, yeah, we're doing, actually, I should have told you, we're still on Facebook? Really, even though it says trying to reconnect up here. You mean YouTube? Yeah, YouTube. See, we're doing YouTube video.
Wow.
We're on Facebook right now, and this is going over WZAA radio in
Okay.
Jeffersonville, which is also streamed. So we have like Fayette.CountyRocks.com, Clinton.CountyRocks.com, Green.CountyRocks.com, a lot of counties
Right.
like that people can go to and listen to it. Well, listen, it is 10 o'clock. And I do thank you for being
Absolutely.
on.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Sure. It's very good to meet
Bill,
you.
appreciate
thanks
it.
for coming
I
in,
appreciate
even though
it.
you don't return my phone calls. I've called this guy 3 times this week.
My
and he just-
phone's messed up.
no, I was
Probably.
trying to get him to come do games. I hadn't even said a word to him about that.
Hey, I'm at work,
Speaking
you know.
of which, I'm going to talk to you about it when we
Yeah.
walk outside.
Yeah.
All right. We're out of here. Everybody have a great day and enjoy today. I think we're supposed to get some rain here tomorrow and maybe a little bit on Sunday. Heck, it rained a little this morning. Did you drive through any rain this morning?
No, I didn't see any rain.
Yeah, it rained for like 2 minutes in Sabina because my daughter was at the bus stop. That's the only reason I said, well, you're lucky it started raining and you get to sit in the car for another minute or two until the bus comes. Guys, everybody have a great day, and
Thank you
we're
so
out of
much.
here.
Hey guys, also stay tuned. I'm gonna do a little sports talk show here for a minute after we sign off here. Yeah.
Okay.
So stay tuned, guys.